The Donald has so handily defeated Iran that Iran has released a new proposal that the United States negotiators agreed upon, waiting for Donald Trump's final approval. While waiting, we bombed Iran again. Colossal W, Orange Man. He just keeps winning. His SA accuser, E. Jean Carroll, is currently getting sued into oblivion because apparently that was all made up. There were assassination attempts against 3 prominent Republicans, by the way, Erica Kirk, Ivanka Trump, and another one, which we will get to. It seems like so many people are getting exposed now as foreign agents through the Hassan Piker debacle, including Candace Owens. Literally no one saw that one coming. Unless, of course, you are a viewer of Nuxtradamus. I cover all the things every day in the least homosexual way possible. Definitely subscribe. Lock in, boys and girls. We got a crazy one today. The Donald keeps winning. An albino buffalo named Donald Trump was spared from sacrifice in Bangladesh, with government officials intervening to pardon him last minute. The left has no response to something like this, by the way. This completely, libtards utterly annihilated. It is over for them. Now, it's not only over for them, it is also over for everyone's favorite state sponsor of terrorism, the goat diddlers over there in Iran. Those guys are having a terrible day.
Well, I think we're doing very well. I think are starting to give us the things that they have to give us. And if they do, that's great. And if they won't, then the man on my left is going to finish them off.
The man on his left agrees.
Is there a time frame in your mind?
What?
Is there a time frame in your mind for?
I mean, it happens quickly. The problem is every time I mention a time frame, for instance, I see, we've been doing this for a few months. Vietnam lasted 19 years. Korea lasted 8 years. Afghanistan lasted many years. They were all many, many years. And we're into it for a few months. And I read about you people like you. What's taking so long? We're in it. We lost between 2 wars, 2 big wars, Venezuela and Iran. We lost 13 souls, 13 great people. Met the parents, great people. And it's a terrible thing, but 13. If you look at the war casualties and the deaths in wars from Vietnam and all that, they lost hundreds of thousands of people in numerous of these wars. We're very cognizant of that. We want to lose very few. We want very few to be injured. We're very careful. But war is war. War is dangerous. But we've lost 13. I saw the Democrats took an ad putting in the 13 people that were lost. And when you look at hundreds of thousands of people that were lost in the Middle East, Iraq, all the different wars we were in, we have done an amazing job. With that being said, I hate to lose 13. I hate to lose 1, but we've been very capable. I mean, when you think of it, we took over Venezuela in 1 day.
Yeah, that was great.
We have done a similar job.
Leftists frothing at the mouth, crying that we've toppled an evil dictatorship. No kings unless it's a communist that's oppressing and murdering their own people.
Yeah, but we said, well, give them a little chance at the request of somebody that we greatly respect from Pakistan, the Field Marshal and the Prime Minister. They've been great.
Fuck Pakistan. All my homies hate Pakistan.
And they asked us, would we pause the war for a little while because they'd like to, so we'll do that.
Like, I get Trump is being very nice about it. Look, this is my take on the Pakistan drama.
That is 100%. Do you know they actually found another Pakistani rape gang this week?
No shit.
They found another one.
Fork found in kitchen.
Damn. Oh, that's
fuck.
Yeah, so anyway, that's just my... Listen, I'm not trying to be controversial or anything. I'm just being real.
But we had them beat. They're, no better now. We could close that out very quickly. If we can do it in a different way, that'd be good. If we get everything we want. But we could close that out very, very quickly. And we may have to. I don't think so, but we may have.
We can take some time, do a deal. We get all the things. It'll take a little bit. Or we can do it very quickly. We kill all of them. They're all dead. And goats are celebrating across the world. For their brothers and sisters that are getting raped by mullahs all over the place. Now, this is the man on the left, all right? The man on the left had this to say.
And when you do your job, the adversaries know what's coming for them. And that's when they either step up and meet the fury of the American military or back down, and you create a whole bunch of options for America and the president with what he wants to execute on behalf of the American people. So right now, hey, Iran has a choice. Meet at the table with the president and give up their nuclear program. And as the president said, I'm lost on time, 2 days ago now, in the cabinet meeting. I'm sitting right next to him. He looks in the camera and says, well, Iran can either do it the right way, with a deal, across the table, or they can deal with my guy on the left. That happened to be me. But it's not me. It's you guys.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Those are my goats out there. These are my goats out there killing the goat fucking pedophiles for the sake of America. God bless. All right, now Marco's been cooking as well.
Very much.
The man on his right.
Another man doing a fantastic job, I think we all agree, is Marco. You're all over the place, right? I watched you last night at 3 different locations. So tell us about Iran.
Well, first of all,
First of all, they fuck goats.
the bottom line is Iran's never going to have a nuclear.
Right. We don't want goat fuckers to have nuclear weapons. We don't trust their moral judgment, honestly. Now, it's his birthday today, so happy birthday, Mr. Secretary. Everyone loves him. The left has no answer for Rubio, by the way. They do everything they can for Vance. They try their best for Trump. They have no answer to this guy. Like, the entire leftist coalition is centered around the fact of, we'll just call the other guy Hitler. And there's literally nothing they can do. What, you're going to put AOC against this guy? Our Latino will kick the shit out of your Latino, and it's not even close. All right, Nicki Minaj standing in the middle of 2 legends. Happy birthday, Rubio. We completely dominate the culture, and it's really not even close. Now, to understand, there were crazy informations that came out specifically regarding the Iranian assassination plot against Ivanka Trump. For some reason, this is something barely being talked about anywhere, but it's a thing that literally just happened.
This was allegedly in retaliation for the killing of Iranian commander Qasem Soleimani. Jillian Turner has more from the State Department. Hi, Jillian.
Good morning to you, Dana. Terrorists plotting to take out the President of the United States is a threat that we are all too tragically familiar with here in America, but terrorists plotting to take out the President's children is really a new horror, but it seems this is the world.
You know, it's almost like you're dealing with immoral pedophile goat fuckers. And honestly, like, I keep getting proven correct every day. It's so weird how this keeps happening.
We are in, according to a court filing earlier this month. It turns out that an alleged terrorist from Iran's notorious security service had pledged to murder first daughter Ivanka Trump, and his plot was actually so advanced he had obtained a blueprint of her $24 million Florida home, according to the New York Post. He also posted a chilling threat on X that translates to, quote, "I say to the Americans, look at this picture and know that neither your palaces nor the Secret Service will protect you. We're currently in the stage of surveillance and analysis. I told you our revenge is a matter of time." Now, the suspect, Mohammed al-Sadi, is a 32-year-old Iraqi national. He now stands accused of taking part in as many as 20 different terror attacks on Americans. He was taken into FBI custody after agents identified his revenge plot. He was hoping to avenge the killing of Iranian military chief Qasem Soleimani in a U.S. drone strike in Baghdad, as you just mentioned, Dana, 6 years ago. Interestingly, or coincidentally, the president himself yesterday, we saw him all live on camera. He was ruminating about the threats to his life that he has faced so far.
Look, anybody in office, not only in this country, in other countries too, but when you are a consequential president, your life is in grave danger. I knew that.
It is also astonishing, Dana, when you realize that all of this went down as the Iranian regime has been trying to negotiate with President Trump. Dana?
Right. That is a key detail. Thank you so much.
Yep, they're trying to make a deal, and then they're trying to assassinate Donald Trump's daughter at the same time. This is completely insane, and fuck these people. They suck, and I'm really happy that a lot of their leaders are dead, actually. No, you're not allowed to be happy when terrorists die. Well, that's because you're a pussy and a cuck. You're a pussy cuck. That's why you feel that way, pussy cuck. I, however, don't believe in that faux ideology of actually you have to let them rape and kill you. I believe in the ideology of kill them first. Okay, like, bro, I'm tired of this, man. It's crazy. Now, anyway, for those of you that are forgetful, Tucker Carlson literally stated if Iran actually tried to assassinate Trump, we should nuke them. All right, and this is coming from the guy that's super anti the Iran war because he's pro-Islam and almost everything. And it's pretty insane to watch this happen. Now, U.S. and Iranian negotiators reach deal awaiting the President Trump's final approval. This is pretty insane. It seems like we're actually fucking getting there. And of course, you know, you got Mehdi Hassan and retards like that crying, "No! Israel struck a Hezbollah military base that was firing missiles at them on Eid. Ethnic cleansing on Eid." First of all, it's not ethnic cleansing if you kill terrorists that are shooting missiles at you. And second of all, no! I'm trying to kill you on my holiday and you're fighting back? Fuck! I can't believe you would do such a thing! October 7th was literally on a Jewish holiday, by the way. All right, but anywho, while we're one step away from peace, all right, Donald Trump just needs to approve the deal. We bombed the fuck out of Iran.
Fox News alert, we just carried out a new wave of strikes in Iran. The Pentagon confirmed...
It was self-defense, guys. I'm just letting you know it was self-defense.
Confirming to Fox that U.S. forces struck 4 Iranian drones, posing a threat to the Strait. CENTCOM also bombing an Iranian military site.
Yeah, it was self-defense. It was all... I don't even know what you're talking about. It was all self-defense. By the way, for those of you that don't believe me...
Right, but I've never heard evidence that there are hitmen in the United States. I mean, trying to kill Trump right now, we should...
Well... That was a lie.
Like, have a nationwide dragnet on this, and we should attack Iran immediately if that's true.
Fantastic point, fucker Katarlson. You make such a good point.
Don't you think?
No.
If they're trying to assassinate our president?
They have been for 2 years.
Then
they
why
are
are we
enemies.
at war with them?
You know, I'm really glad you brought that up, fucker Katarlson. We are there, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, we are trying to
Why don't we just nuke Tehran if they're trying to murder
Holy shit! Fucker Katarlson's genocidal.
our president? There's nothing that you could do that would be worse for the United States than murdering Trump. And I just don't understand why you're not calling for the use of
Anyway, now he calls Trump the Antichrist. How far have they fallen?
nuclear weapons against the Ayatollah right now. I'm serious. If you really believe they're trying
the
to
use
murder
of nuclear weapons. See,
whatever
that's part
it
of the
takes.
problem of
Bro, I love this guy. He's amazing. He stands for literally nothing. It's incredible. Man, every single guy I call out just ends up being retarded. It's almost like God favors those that favor him.
You don't seem to take the allegations seriously. I do. If you believe they're trying to murder Trump, we need to stop what we're doing and punish them.
I'm so glad you mentioned that. I'm so glad you put that on the record, sir. That's exactly what's happening right now. They tried to assassinate Trump twice. We have 2 Iranian assassins in jail, and we have a third one that tried to assassinate Trump's daughter. You know, so complete and utter fucking W, America. Fuck this fucker. This is crazy. Anyway, we bombed Iran.
That was seconds away from launching a 5th drone.
Uh-oh.
We're told these strikes were purely defensive.
We defensively blew up their entire face.
Intended to maintain the ceasefire, quote unquote.
Yeah, we're maintaining the ceasefire while we bomb these people to kingdom come.
This comes just after the president called a high-stakes cabinet meeting at the White House today. The main topic, Iran.
Well, I think we're doing very well. I think are starting to give us the things that they have to give us. And if they do, that's great. And if they won't, then the man on my left is going to finish him off.
That's right.
The man on his left, Pistol Pete.
There he is.
We're going to use maximum lethality. And bring them to their knees.
Love
so
to
whether
hear
it's
that.
their Navy that's at the bottom of the Persian Gulf,
That's right.
their Air Force,
It's done.
their air defenses, or their defense industrial base, they may have missiles, but they can't build more right now.
That
and they
sucks
can't
for
build
them.
more drones right now. And they can't build more ships.
Oh, shit.
And so they came and cried.
Somewhere, a Muslim is calling you a hypocrite because you don't like when they lose wars, but you like when you win wars. Somewhere, an 85 IQ inbred is saying, "You hypocrite. It's okay for you to have nukes, but it's not okay for them to have nukes." Yes. Yes, actually, I do like it when we win and when they lose. Yes, true. Good point. Good point, sir. I didn't think of that.
I'd uncle to talk.
Administration sources believe a deal's still imminent. We're using the carrot and the stick.
I think there's been some progress and some interest, and we'll see over the next few hours.
One step away from making a deal. Now we have to bomb the fuck out of them for self-defense purposes. Listen, I actually don't care if we kill terrorists. I know that I know that for some reason it's like, no, we're not allowed to kill. Human life is sacred. Human life is sacred. And in the Bible, which is why I consider human life sacred, you know, because God says it's sacred in the Bible when he says thou shalt not murder. God also gives tons of provisos of when you should kill people. Like, for example, if they're murderers, or for example, if you're at war with them. All right, like it's stated multiple times. So the same God that's telling you not to murder is also telling you exactly when you should fucking kill your enemy. All right? So I am tired of like these emotional cock wobblers just smearing their emotional diarrhea all over every conversation ever. All right, I'm tired of this slop. Actually killing terrorists is awesome.
Hours and days whether progress could be made. I just want to remind everybody, Mr. President, you know this well, you have other options available to you if that doesn't work. But the bottom line is that we prefer the negotiated diplomatic route, and we're going to give it every chance to succeed.
The markets are bullish on the deal. The Dow and S&P hit record highs today, and oil fell to the low 90s.
I was told, literally, the moment this war started, I was told by every libtard and CNN and all these fuckers, they all came together to say that this was going to cause the Great Recession. You mean to tell me that the stock market's at an all-time high? Wow. Are they going to like take accountability for the fear-mongering, or are they just going to move on to the next thing?
That's after.
That was a rhetorical question.
After we gave them another love tap earlier this week, and then just now, wiping out members of the Guard after catching them laying mines in the Strait.
Yeah, it sucks
the
for
regime's
them.
Response?
Shouldn't have done it. To quote Asmongold, shouldn't have done it.
Not much.
Yeah, what are they going to do? They have no military. Like, I love how you still have these fucking cockroaches being like, Iran is completely humiliating America at war. Wow, Iran has decimated the American military. Meanwhile, we're fucking bombing the shit out of them. They can't do anything in return. Like, they have 2 child soldiers with muskets on camels doing their absolute best to fight for the sake of Allah.
Negotiators kind of ignored it to keep peace talks on track.
Yeah, because they're that fucking scared of backing out of peace talks. Yeah.
And they're trying to put a leash on the Guard, telling them to quit with the Strait shenanigans if they want to live to see another day.
Yeah.
The mullahs have no choice. The clock's working against them.
They're just going back to the internet because they're getting clobbered. Their economy is in free fall. They have 250% inflation. Ooh. Their money has no value. Their whole economic system is broken down.
Bro, we could buy Iran for like 5 shekels.
They thought they were going to outweight me. You know, we'll outweight him. He's got the midterms. I don't care about the midterms. Look what happened last night. That was the prelude to the midterms.
The Iranians are looking for the relief valve. Big steel companies in Iran are completely shut down. Israel blew them up. And paychecks are bouncing. Israel. Meanwhile, our economy, still the largest in the world. Our GDP, bigger than China, Germany, and India combined.
But I was told we need to play ball with these people, and we desperately need them because we're not actually the world superpower. A couple of Muslims told me that. A couple of 85 IQ inbred people from Pakistan told me that we lost the war to Iran.
Plus, now we're getting fresh batches of sweet crude from our new amigo.
Over 10 million barrels of Venezuelan oil have been delivered to the United States since
But I was told that the Venezuela operation was going to be an absolute catastrophe that would start World War III and we'd lose thousands of men. That's what political analyst extraordinaire Sneeko and Hassan Piker have collaborated to tell the world. You mean to tell me they were wrong and it was just completely and utterly beneficial to us and the Venezuelan people? Like, without even a shadow of a doubt, and all those fear-mongering retards are never going to actually have to eat shit publicly because they were completely wrong about this? That's crazy.
That industry is being professionalized for the first time ever. It's going to the benefit of the Venezuelan people. They are selling oil in the market at market rates. The money's going to an account in the United States, controlled and monitored by Treasury, audited by KPMG. And it's for the first time ever, the money's not being stolen. It's going to the benefit of the Venezuelan people.
Meanwhile, the Iranians can't get any oil out. 109 of their ships, they've been 180'd.
Yeah.
The blockades cost them $20 billion and counting. Their ships are sanctioned and stuck. Iran needs the deal, and they're asking for a little moolah. We froze billions of their assets at the start of the war, and they want us to thaw out some of the bank accounts ASAP. But we're not giving them their allowance back if they don't follow orders.
Is the U.S. considering easing sanctions on Iran to allow Iran to sell its crude to market?
No, we're not talking about any easing of sanctions.
You mean to tell me that we're not going to write a like $4 billion check to Iran and fly over pallets of cash like Obama? You mean to tell me that Donald Trump is like, it's almost like he's a different guy or something? And all of the neocons that were freaking out that Trump is making some sort of deal, it's almost like they really jumped the gun here. They didn't have faith in the orange buffalo.
Money, no sanctions, no money, no nothing. We have control of money that they claim is theirs.
They're gay.
We'll keep control of that money.
They're gay and
behave
dying.
properly, and when
Have
they
sex
do what's
with
right,
goats.
we'll let them have
Dogs
the money.
for crying out
but
loud.
right now, we're not doing that, and it's not, one thing is not contingent on the other.
The message from the White House is no dust, no deal. The Iranians only get their money after they open up the strait and blow up the uranium. But these Persians are squirrely. They're trying to put in the deal that they can control the strait with their neighbors on the other coast, Oman. Trump's like, that's a joke, right?
The strait's going to be open to everybody.
And who would control it?
It's international waters. Nobody's going to control it. We're going to watch over it.
That's
we'll watch
right.
over it, but nobody's going to control it. That's part of the negotiation that we have. They would like to control it. Nobody's going to control it. It's international waters, and Oman will behave just like everybody else, so we'll have to blow them up.
Oman's an ally, but if you turn into a pirate, we'll turn you into an enemy.
Bro, I love this man. I love him. He's just so based like that. Oh, no, but what about violating their sovereignty? Fuck their sovereignty. They want to stop an international waterway? Fuck them. We're going to blow them up. Yes. You know, honestly, they can avoid getting blown up if they just don't do piracy. If they don't do terrorism, they don't die. If they do terrorism, then, well, they made the decision for us. I'm so tired of this pussyfooting that for some reason we just had to go around and give all of our enemies everything. God!
The Russians and Chinese also want to help with the uranium.
I'm sure they do.
Trump says, stay in your corner.
Would you be comfortable with Russia or China taking their stockpile of highly enriched uranium, and have they offered to do that?
No, I wouldn't be.
The president wants to personally see.
Donald Trump says, I want all of these things. Now, you're going to give them all to me, or you're going to die. And then they're like, but what about, no. But what about if Russia? No. What about if China? Nope. But what about with Oman? Nope. That's just how it's going to be, all right? This is what unconditional surrender means, all right? We won militarily. You've been fucking with us for 47 years. You're fucking horrible people, by the way. You've been massacring your own people in the streets, all right? Shut the fuck up. This is going to go the way we want it to go, or you're going to die. Man, dude, is this what it's like to have a male president as opposed to, like, a Democrat?
The uranium destroyed. And once that happens, we have a deal. But the president's throwing a curveball in the negotiations. He wants the Arab world to sign on to the deal, too. And if they don't, there may be no deal.
We'd like to have them immediately join and Steve Witkoff is working on that with Jared and some others, but would like to have them join the Abraham Accords. It'll be historic if they do it. And we would, I think they owe that to us, to be honest. I think, because that really would be a tremendous sign. And I think those countries owe it to us. I'm not sure we should make the deal if they don't sign. You want to know the truth?
Oh my God. Yeah, bro's not Obama. People are realizing real quick, dude is not Biden. But unlike Biden, Donald Trump is biding his time until he gets the absolute right star alignment to either make a deal with them and get absolutely everything we want, or bomb them to fucking oblivion. Keep cooking, Mr. President. Everyone crying about the Epstein files is literally rooting for the Epstein regime in Iran to keep raping kids as much as they possibly can. Yeah, actually, I'll take my own moral guidelines on this one and not yours, personally. I hope that's okay. And if it's not, I actually don't really care at all. Now, believe it or not, the Donald keeps winning somehow. The Justice Department is launching a criminal investigation into E. Jean Carroll, who accused Donald Trump of sexual assault, CNN reports. Now, if you remember, she actually won a civil sexual assault lawsuit against Donald Trump. Now, for those of you that are unaware of the difference between civil versus criminal lawsuits means without a shadow of a doubt, he sexually assaulted her. And civil lawsuits means there is potential reason to believe that he might have sexually assaulted her. So he lost a civil lawsuit, which in my opinion doesn't actually prove anything at all. And by my opinion, I mean the opinion of the entire fucking world, because Donald Trump didn't go to jail for this, obviously. That's one. And two, I think the whole thing was hyper-politicized. I've been saying that I think this entire trial was a sham for years, literally after it went on. Here you got this lady, after 40 years, she decides to show up when Donald Trump is becoming the president of the United States to now claim that she was raped. Now we have to believe her? Believe a woman? Unbelievable. What have we come to as a society? We're believing women now? This is crazy. Transgender person comes out of the sewer to say believe all women. I don't even believe that you're a woman. Why are we doing this? Anyway, of course, you got people freaking out. I cannot think of a more perfectly distilled example of why so many survivors of sexual assault don't come forward. I actually completely agree. Survivors of sexual assault don't come forward because you have people like E. Jean Carroll, who, in my opinion, lie. That's right. It's because of the liars. If every single person who actually claimed that they were raped was telling the truth, then everyone that was raped would say it, and they would be believed because everyone didn't lie. But believe it or not, just like males, females are also human with the capability of lying, especially if you're going up against a hyper-politicized opponent who's a billionaire. I'm just saying that makes it more likely that you're probably a lying bitch. And there are a lot more reasons for that we didn't even get to yet. But in my opinion, this is actually completely awesome. Right? Justice Department launched a criminal investigation into E. Jean Carroll, who accused Trump of sexual assault, according to sources. Justice Department launches a criminal investigation into Trump accuser E. Jean Carroll. This is awesome, actually. But is Trump just going after people he doesn't like? Yeah. Isn't that great? Isn't that awesome? Fuck yeah, dude. That's sick. If she actually committed a crime, she should do the time. I don't care who the fuck she is. In fact, I actually want everyone who committed the crimes to do the times. Listen, I'm a big Law and Order guy. And I have a very simple ideology when it comes to Law and Order. If someone falsely accuses someone of sexual assault, I think they should be tied to a post in public and given lashes in the middle of the street in the town square. Publicly live streamed for the nation's entertainment. Now, I'm not saying I want that to happen to her, because I don't know if she's innocent or if she's guilty. I don't know anything, all right? But if we actually have evidence that she lied about it, I think public lashes would be pretty awesome. I see some people saying death penalty. I'm not a barbarian. I only want her live streamed on twitch.tv/commandment number 9, getting absolutely punished for whatever crime she actually might have committed, allegedly. Now, anyway, oh shit, she lied? No! You mean to tell me that it was a gigantic Democrat strategy in order to basically ruin Trump's life because they were so terrified he would get elected? Well, you are about to go down a rabbit hole that I don't think you are even beginning to expect. E. Jean Carroll, who herself claimed she was a massive Trump fan 15 years ago, appears deranged and sick. She lives with rodents, named her cat Vagina, and her dog Tits. She writes stories about her dog, taught her about sex, claimed on live TV that rape was sexy, and paints trees blue. All right, just understand.
I call it the Mouse House because some very distinguished mice live here. Kahneman lives in the...
We are trusting this woman's word to ruin the life of a very successful man. Just understand where we've come to as a society.
Kitchen. Taberski lives in the bedroom. This is my shed. And on that side are the books that most influenced me growing up. On the door are the lists of my dogs. Marky, Fortuna de la Spunky, Heidi, Tits, Bloody, and Hepburn. The streams and the rivers were dry. And it so horrified me that I came out and started painting the rocks blue to indicate that there was once a river here. And then after I got done painting the rocks, I just sort of walked over here and then did that tree and then did that tree and then I did this tree.
Yeah, so the entire country basically took her word for it and is now calling Trump a rapist. Now, just understand the way the left operates. They don't actually believe in evidence. They just believe in actually killing anyone they don't like. This has been proven time and time again. They don't call you a Nazi because they think you're a Nazi. They call you a Nazi so they could justify killing you. They don't call you a fascist because they think you're a fascist. In fact, I don't even think that they know what the word fascism means. They just use that word to basically say, now it's morally justified to overthrow you by any means necessary. Right? Because that's what you would do. It's an actual Nazi or fascist government, right? Emails between her and her friend, who was also a key witness in the case, reveal her talking about her grand scheme to remove Trump from office. She was funded by a billionaire Democrat. We'll talk about him in a second. Benefited from changed laws specifically to prosecute Trump. And Carroll was the first person in the state to file under this new law. She won against a case against Trump with zero evidence, no eyewitnesses. In a trial, the judge refused to admit Trump's evidence against Carroll, showcasing a politically motivated prosecution. And this person is now trusted for some reason, and now the entire country is calling Trump a rapist, and they have been for like the last decade. This is what the establishment does. This is how the gears turn and how it operates, just purely to destroy you if they don't like you. But even more than that, women actually do lie. I know this is a surprise, but sometimes they're not telling the truth. A bald man in Texas is sneezing the shit out of his face right now. But actually they could just lie. Now, this guy is the guy that paid E. Jean Carroll's legal expenses that she got caught lying about. We will talk about that in an instant. The guy sitting next to Epstein on his island, Reid Hoffman. Reid Hoffman is the guy, the billionaire, that paid for E. Jean Carroll's case against Trump, a friend of Jeffrey Epstein, with emails like, okay, come to the island, ranch, let's play. That's not weird at all, coming from history's second most notorious pedophile. Of course, the other guy, they have a whole religion based off the other guy, but we don't talk about the other guy right now. So just to understand, Trump's name shows up in the Epstein files. Yeah, Epstein coordinated literally to take Trump out. We have evidence that Epstein coordinated with Obama's lawyers to get Trump to lose his election on the Russia hoax. We have Epstein on a phone call with people in Congress while questioning Trump in regards to Russia ties, which ended up being a complete hoax. We have Epstein's bestie over here sitting with him on his island where they play on his ranch, funding a bogus sexual assault case against him. So when these people say that Trump's a pedophile, they have no evidence. In fact, there is no evidence. Because his name is mentioned in the files of a guy who worked with everybody that tried their best to destroy him. Like, understand how badly the narrative falls apart if you actually believe in evidence for even a second. So this investigation is fucking awesome, actually.
Breaking news. Moments ago, the Department of Justice has launched a criminal investigation into E. Jean Carroll. She accused President Trump of sexual assault. The investigation is allegedly centered around whether Carroll committed perjury during her civil lawsuit against the president. She was eventually awarded a $5 million judgment. Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche has recused himself from the investigation, given his past representation of Trump in the matter.
That is crazy, by the way. That's insane. They're getting her for perjury. Shit, dude. That's so sick. False statements under oath to help Democrats target Trump. Dude, this is so awesome. Is Trump just going after people he doesn't like? Fuck yeah, baby. They're going away. He's winning. As you can see, in a 2022 deposition, E. Jean Carroll stated that no one else was paying her legal fees. Well, it later emerged that nonprofit banned by LinkedIn co-founder Reid Hoffman covered her legal expenses. Wow. So it seems like a multi-billionaire Democrat, gigantic corporation guy that didn't want Trump to be president was funding a bogus sexual assault allegation against him. That's pretty wild. Lied about Reid Hoffman paying her expenses.
Victim.
You don't feel like a victim?
I was not thrown on the ground and ravished, which the word rape carries so many sexual connotations.
Yes, because rape is sexual.
This was not sexual.
Really?
It hurt.
But I think most people think of rape as it is a violent assault. It is not.
I think most people think of rape as being sexy.
This is the person that accused Trump of rape and ruined his life. Okay? This is the person that got $5 million on a rape allegation. The one that says that he didn't rape me, rape is sexy. All right? But for some reason, the judge still decided, you know what, she makes a good point.
Let's take a short break.
Think of the fantasies.
Let's take a break.
We're just going to take a quick break. If you can stick around, we'll talk more on the other side.
Yeah, CNN really doesn't want the actual, person who claims to have been raped by Trump talk about how rape is sexy. All right? Lied about Reid Hoffman paying her legal expenses. Didn't mention allegations anytime from 1996 to 2018. 3 days after Trump announced his re-election, bam, she accuses him of rape. Coming from the person that says rape is sexy. Wow, insane, honestly. Now, E. Jean Carroll is getting absolutely humiliated everywhere.
Another thing that he and his lawyers have often spoken about is the lack of disclosure about a big Democratic donor funding part of this case.
That's a pretty big deal.
A reason it wasn't disclosed, and did you view this as political in any way?
No.
No. I was silent about this for 20 years and then decided out of the blue to come up and accuse him of raping me with billionaire Reid Hoffman funding my case. Not for political reasons, obviously. It's because I think rape is sexy. I mean, rape is bad.
I just completely forgot.
Totally forgot that billionaire Reid Hoffman funded her entire case against a billionaire, Donald Trump, 3 days after he ran for president.
That he even existed.
In your deposition?
Right.
Yes, in my deposition.
She just forgot. E. Jean Carroll caught in deposition claiming she totally forgot that billionaire Reid Hoffman funded her entire lawsuit against Trump. Just slipped her mind. She just forgot, guys. She just forgot. Understand the level of evil these motherfuckers are using to destroy you. All right, never forget that she called rape sexy, all right? And then they had to cut it off on CNN because, well, what the fuck are you going to do about that? Even Nick Fuentes, who, for the record, hates Trump right now, even he's backing Trump on this one. And by the way, he's completely right. He is completely right.
We're also going to talk about Trump's epic lawsuit against his rape victims. See, this is what I love to see.
Yeah!
Now, this is something that I like to see. Can we get more of this? The Trump administration is suing Jean Carroll. This is that woman who sued Trump in civil court for raping her 45 years ago. Now Trump is taking the fight to his rape victim.
Yeah!
And he's suing her for perjury.
That's right.
He says
he is going to rape her in court. No, that sounded wrong.
She perjured herself in the trial. This is a criminal case.
That's right.
Brought by the DOJ.
Public lashes. See, I'm actually against prison for the most part because I don't like the idea that my tax dollars are paying for prisons. Like, if there's someone that's that dangerous, he's going to kill people, like, we should execute him. And if he's not that dangerous and he's not going to kill people, I just think we should give them public lashes. Personally, I think it's much healthier. Like, why should my taxes pay for their prison sentence, you know?
And he's going to bring the full weight of the White House down
Destroyer.
on this
yes
83-year-old.
Maybe the next hoe that decides to lie for political points is gonna be shutting the fuck up. Justice W.
Old SA victim.
Oh, that's right.
Finally, some good.
I can't believe he's suing his rape victim. How do you know she's a rape victim? Because you believe women? Your first mistake, sir.
Good news. I love to see a guy fight back.
That's what I'm talking about. Yes.
Isn't it true, though?
Look at the way the right wing unites over justice. Can we get more of this, please? Can we please get more of this? Every single guy that came for you and came to fucking obliterate you, just jail him. Legally, of course, obviously, you throw the weight at the government, just jail him. Bro, listen, I'll be real here. All right, E. Jean Carroll goes to jail, the entire right celebrates. Literally. Hassan Piker gets deported, the whole right. We'll all come together. We'll unite on this, all right? You might call this a populist tactic, but I think it's fucking worth it and awesome at the same time. The amount of good that can be added to society if we make examples out of the worst fucking people would be cinema. It would be. No, I can't believe you're being so heartless that you would put a rape victim. I don't even know if she's a rape victim. She might just be a hoe. A hoe bitch. A bitch hoe that lied.
We all knew that was a load of nonsense. She was that woman who claimed that they went to the shopping mall and he like molested her in the changing room or something. We know it's fake. She got awarded a $5 million settlement.
That's crazy.
And they called him a rapist because of it.
That's right.
But now our glorious hero is fighting back.
That's
He's
right.
going to put her in her place.
He's just the main character in the story.
More of this.
Yeah.
See, this is the thing about the Trump administration. Why can't it just be fighting our actual enemies?
Yeah. So, but not Iran, because we love those guys, those rapists. Those rapists are cool. Anyway, so we don't need to get into it. Point is, the right unites over justice. The left unites over anarchy. And then the anarchy gets so bad, the actual government needs to step up and completely do insane amounts of overreach to basically squash everybody down. Look at COVID. Literally, the left is a party of anarcho-fascists. It's people that are wildly authoritarian because they refuse to actually jail the actual anarchists, and they jail the people that are the good people instead. You know, the retards shooting people up and looting stores and lighting shit on fire, they don't go after them. Therefore, basically fanning the flames of anarchy. But they will absolutely and utterly squash the good, God-fearing, average American guy that just wants to get married and have a family. All right? So, that quite classic anarcho-fascists. But the right likes justice. You have absolute fucking degenerate roach Hassan Piker calling for the death of America and shit. Just get him out. Deport him. I don't care what law you use. Figure it out. This guy shouldn't be here. There's no moral reason why this guy should be in our country. Literally, there is no moral reason why this Turk, who was born here illegally and now magically a citizen, and we have to fucking deal with this fucking shitbag traitor. There is no reason why we need to do that. Get him out. I don't care how. You can whip him on terrorist charges, on, violating sanctions, on sedition, calling for the deaths of senators. I don't give a fuck why. In my book, every single one of those is a good enough reason to get him the fuck out of here. Same with this. You get this lying sexual assault victim, in quotes, lying and slandering somebody because they're what? A successful guy they don't like. They want to take him down, give ammo to the Democrats to call him a rapist on television every single day for the last 10 years. Literally fucking throw the book at her. If she lied, get her for perjury. Put her in jail. Maybe the next person won't do perjury. Justice is beautiful, actually. Man, I wish that Donald Trump was the authoritarian that the left actually thinks he is. Now, just to understand, there's crazy stuff happening in the actual political world right now around the Trump administration. I'm not saying that the number one most common religion among young women these days is witchcraft, which is a true statistic, by the way. That is true, actually, unfortunately. But all of a sudden, everyone's getting sick. Tulsi Gabbard is leaving the government, submitting her resignation because her husband, Abraham, has recently been diagnosed with an extremely rare form of bone cancer. He faces major challenges in the coming weeks and months. This time I must step away from my public service to be on his side and have fully supported him through this battle, which is heartbreaking, and obviously we're praying for him, and we wish him the best of luck. And then we got, Attorney General Pam Bondi has been battling thyroid cancer in her time following her departure from her role as U.S. Attorney General for Axios. Again, I think she was a terrible Attorney General, don't get me wrong, and I'm happy she was fired, but this is tragic. It's really horrible, and of course we are praying for a recovery. It's unreal. It is unreal watching the Trump administration battle their way through this. All right. Members of their actual government getting cancer, their spouses getting cancer, assassination attempts all the fucking time. Backstabbers everywhere, from Thomas Massey to Tucker Carlson, backstabbing him wherever he goes, despite the fact that they make believe that they were like his #1 soldiers. With leftist discourse just constantly and only being Trump bad. Everything. Trump says don't take Tylenol when you're pregnant or the baby can have autism, and you have women overdosing on Tylenol. Like, literally, we're dealing with fucking retards, okay? Calling him a rapist for fake rape allegations, calling him a pedophile because his name is in the Epstein files where Epstein was working to destroy him. Like, I don't think you understand. Of course, this is how the left responds to the news that Pam Bondi has thyroid cancer.
My Lord Jesus, please let her end up with a hole in her throat that she has to push every time she speaks. Dear God, if there is a MAGA God, please let Pam Bondi's throat cancer be the worst case of cancer anybody's ever seen. Please let her have to take on the suffering that she's unleashed upon the thousands, millions, dare I say, of Americans.
Yeah, she didn't unleash any suffering on anybody, just by the way.
Country. Dear MAGA Lord Jesus, please let her end up with a hole in her throat that she has to push every time she speaks. Please, dear MAGA Lord Jesus, please let this be the karma that she so justly deserves.
Right? So here, the godless communists are now praying to a god that they don't believe in because they hate you so much. All right? Like, I am never going to unite with people like this, for the record. And this is just the one person that actually decided to film it, amongst the many that were just celebrating quietly because they're not fucking retarded. This is the lowest IQ of the retards, but the higher IQ retards, they just celebrate like that in group chats. Like, I'm not even exaggerating. That's real. My brother, all right, he was in med school when Donald Trump was elected president, and he showed me screenshots from that group chat. And these are the doctors, right? These are the next generation of doctors in our country. Talking about if they ever had him as a patient, they would let him die. Absolute hypocrites on the Hippocratic Oath. Meanwhile, the GOAT, the actual GOAT, the guy who has been basically brutally humiliated by everyone as being an anti-vaxxer and secretly unhealthy, and he's horrible, because he has a weird voice. All right, RFK Jr., what's he doing? This guy, it's unbelievable. Well, let me show you. Let me show you what our GOAT does, all right? This is our HHS secretary. This is your HHS secretary. You offended me by not using my pronouns. All right, this is what our fucking fishnet that probably his like 6-year-old girl has or something. Oh! That's a deadly snake, by the way. That's a rattlesnake, a diamondback, probably.
Only you. Amazing. Amazing. Only you.
Oh! Like, every time I open up Twitter, I either see this 75-year-old motherfucker doing like 30 pull-ups in the airport or catching rattlesnakes in his driveway. Like, what are we even doing in the middle of a meeting? Oh my God. This is the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. Oh my God. He's like his hands shake. He's old as fuck, and he's still doing this.
I don't want to touch him.
Yeah, don't touch his fangs.
Ask Cheryl to bring you a pillow to his house.
No, honey. No. I'll let it here.
Bro, based Giga Chad alpha male protecting his woman like that. Look at that. That's what I'm talking about. Western diamond. I said it was a diamondback. That is the most deadly snake in the United States of America, by the way. The Western diamondback.
Look at these rings at the end of his tail.
Oh my God.
Gonna put him in here.
He just drops it in the pillowcase. What's he gonna do?
All safe.
All safe, yeah. And he goes and he lets it go. He goes, he lets it go. He doesn't want to hurt the snake. The snake did nothing wrong. You gotta let it go in the wild, bro. I am just saying. I fucking love winning. Winning is awesome. Subscribe if you like winning too, because we're gonna keep doing that. The road will be difficult. We will have setbacks, but we are gonna fucking win. God is good. Oh boy, it's so bad for them, and they don't even know why. All right, they're all getting exposed in possibly the funniest way ever. So, Hassan Piker. subpoenaed by the federal government, possibly a traitor, very likely committing treason. I saw people in my last video saying, it's not technically treason if we're not at war with them. He's literally helping an adversarial regime that we are currently putting under sanctions, very likely going to war with. I don't think you want to play that game. Hassan Piker, favorability rated among those living with children. Favorable 0%, unfavorable 49%. This is easily the greatest poll of all time. All right, if you have children, you just hate Hassan, you know, because he likes killing children. Probably, I mean, he likes the people that do kill children. So I mean, we shouldn't be that surprised. Right? But this is the greatest poll of all time. Right, Hassan has a net favorability of -9% with 71% not knowing who he is. This is the funniest result I've ever seen for a poll. All right, under white people, -7. Under black people, -21%. Hispanic people, +4%, you know, because he's pro-migration. Asian people, -34%. Living situation with children, -49%. 0% favorability with parents, 30%. Oh my God, it's so bad. It's so bad. This is the funniest result I think I've ever seen in my entire life. I don't think I've ever seen a funnier result than this on a poll. Like, it's every single stat. You know, with parents, 42% favorable. If you live with your parents, 42% of you like Hassan. Meaning, if you're a Nepo baby communist living with your rich parents, you like Hassan. If you're living with roommates, in other words, you're slightly older, you hate Hassan because I actually have to pay for things. If everything changes, you know. Bro, 71% of people don't even know who he is. Oh, it's so good. It's literally just so good. It's literally the best result. It's the best result. Now, Hassan had this take a couple of weeks ago, and I have to say, it aged so well.
Your 5 seconds to midnight from a direct Trump mention. I think Trump might be one of the few people on the Republican side that's too smart to recognize that highlighting me in any way, shape, or form is only beneficial for me.
That's right. Donald Trump is such a genius. I love how the left oscillates between Donald Trump is a fucking moron and Donald Trump is a super giga genius. Right? They love to do both at the same time. So this time, Donald Trump is a super giga genius. And the reason why he has never mentioned Hassan is because Hassan is so dangerous. He might accidentally radicalize all of America to watch Hassan and immediately convert into communist Islam to become little slaves to the communist overlords that he is trying to bring in from China. All right? Like, Donald Trump is just too smart.
And therefore, he's not doing it.
Yeah. So anyway, fast forward. Now he's getting a subpoena from the federal government, potentially committing treason. Literally so good. All right, so this is a letter from Marx, right? Karl Marx, everyone's favorite communist. The Turkish working class will never accomplish anything. Karl Marx would have supported the arrest of Hassan Piker. I just want you to understand how funny this is. Like, the developments are just so good. Now, here's the claim, all right? And I just wanted people to understand. All right, so Hassan has been crashing out that all the centrists and the liberals also wanted to go to jail because he's horrible. He's horrible. You make this guy the face of the left in America. No one will ever vote for the left. He is an anti-American piece of shit. He supports every terrorist organization. He wants infinite migration. He wants, like, literally everyone to become communists. All right, he'll go out there and support every single fucking rapist, pedophile he can. He goes to brothels in Germany that have sex trafficked children. All right, so every centrist blue MAGA that celebrates these subpoenas is a fucking moron. They think you're all they're coming for you too. No. Yeah. So anyway, every Democrat that's moderate left, they all love that this guy's going to jail. Now, he likes framing it as they're trying to jail me because I did humanitarian aid in Cuba. Well,
all right. So let's get to the first claim, and it's that Hassan was really there on humanitarian grounds.
Last month, I took the opportunity to go as a part of a humanitarian mission to bring aid that my government won't. I'd be accompanying Progressive International alongside hundreds of others from around the world. Activists, journalists, artists, and politicians will be coming to the island by boat and plane to deliver over 40 tons of necessary supplies, food, medicine,
directly to the Cuban government that won't distribute it to the people. Colossal W.
And medical equipment.
Makes him look to be like such a great guy. He's going to go there and help some people and be fantastic. Well, here's the truth.
Uh-oh.
Hassan and his group violated humanitarian restrictions.
No!
So he specifically said he went to expose what the United States government has done to the Cuban population. Watch him.
What's up, guys? I'm Hassan Piker. I'm here in Havana, Cuba, right now on a humanitarian aid mission alongside numerous other organizations, including but not limited to the DSA. And
Democratic Socialists
my
of
goal
America.
here today is to bring awareness to what my government, the United States of America, has done to the Cuban population.
Wow! So you mean to say that you're such a fucking moron, your own star witness in the case against you, that you are literally admitting on camera that you are going to Cuba for the purpose of exposing America and running propaganda defense for our adversary, the Cuban communist regime?
See, didn't make it up.
It's over.
Words came right out of his own mouth.
Over, dude.
So this case
He's
gets
so
pretty
fucking stupid.
pretty easy to prove pretty quickly. We'll see if they can actually make the case or not. But each humanitarian traveler must engage in these kinds of activities that I'm going to list below, right?
And
only exactly. So these are the rules.
Right, that's how humanitarian aid trips go. They don't actually let you do free propaganda and funding of the terrorist regime that is killing and torturing and imprisoning their own people.
Restrictions when you're going to a place like Cuba. A full-time schedule of activities that enhance contact with the Cuban people, support civil society in Cuba, or promote the Cuban people's independence from Cuban authorities. Do you think Hassan Piker did any of those things? All right, so let's get...
So yeah, it looks really, really bad for him, and everyone is super excited about this. Now, of course, I do have to say, we got some real geniuses for trying to free Palestine. All right, so Jake Shields, notorious retard. Shocking! Jake Shields reacts to translated speeches from World War II. Adolf Hitler, his real words, free Palestine. No. no, this never happened. Bro, the Goyim are going insane. I don't know what to say. Just in, the Pentagon has reportedly assembled the troops and weapons needed to act immediately against Cuba, awaiting Trump's orders. Bro, we are fucking destroying Hassan Piker. This is the greatest day ever. This is amazing. Hanukkah came early. What can I say? This is nuts. All right, so here we have Cuba getting toppled at the same time as Hassan Piker going to jail. Thank you for being our useful idiot. That's right. I don't know if you heard the news, but it's really bad. It's really bad for these motherfuckers and these foreign agents. Now, the U.S. Justice Department is seeking the names, addresses, and banking information of Reddit and X users. Bro, this is a level of winning I didn't expect to see. Like, I'll be honest, there were some things I did expect from the Trump administration, like the mass deportations that we didn't get to the level I wanted, but there were some things that I couldn't have even possibly, in my wildest dreams, imagined this level of winning. Getting the information, addresses, and banking information of Reddit and X users for promoting terrorists and shit. This is literally a dream come true. I did not expect to see it. At least not yet. I knew we were going that direction. I didn't think we'd see it under Trump, too. That's wild. The U.S. Attorney's Office in Washington, led by Gene Pirro, a close ally of President Donald Trump, has subpoenaed the social media companies as part of a criminal investigation, asking for personal information on at least 2 anonymous posters behind accounts that could have chided immigration enforcement efforts. My. Mama. That's pretty awkward. That's pretty awkward if you're a terrorist on Reddit. Now, 6 special interest Chinese nationals wearing camouflage were apprehended near Eagle Pass in Texas. This is Brandon Herrera's district, actually. This is a big fucking deal that we're dealing with Chinese people infiltrating our country. Now, I can't believe Israel would do such a thing. Wow, I can't believe Israel would do this to us, everybody, with Chinese spies infiltrating into Texas. Just understanding, first of all, colossal W that we got them. And that's 1. And 2, understand who our adversaries actually are on the planet. Like, for example, why is Russian straight media doing PR on X for Candace Owens? Why is This is Russia Today? Why is Russia's state media celebrating Candace Owens hitting 6 million subscribers on YouTube? Now, that's too much. I think it's 271,000 at most. But why is Russia celebrating Candace Owens? You know, the person that thinks that the Jews invented the dinosaurs to trick the Christians. The lady that thinks that Egyptian planes were using Sumerian technology to send time travelers to kill Charlie Kirk. I'm kind of weird. I'm kind of wilded out that the person on the planet with more interest she has more interest in Brigitte Macron's genitalia than Emmanuel Macron. All right. For some reason, we have Russian state propaganda promoting her. Now, of course, this shouldn't be surprising. Really excited to be joined by Anna Kasparian today. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. We got our base right-wing influencer, Candace Owens, collabing with literal foreign operative, in my opinion, Anna Kasparian, for the Young Turks. That's right. A huge I hope you guys enjoyed the conversation as much as I did. I wonder what they're going to discuss. I wonder what they're going to discuss. All right. I would bet all of my money that it's the Jews. All right. Sneeko responds, another based right winger. 2 queens supporting female influencer mumbo jumbo emotional slop fest of basically Jews bad. Now this is completely irrelevant, but this is rare footage of Sneeko as a baby surfaced online. I just feel like it's important to understand where he came from, to understand and analyze his actual politics. So this is just some rare footage of him as a baby. Not relevant. Now, this is one of the biggest twists we've ever seen. So Candace Owens is actually going to Russia. I was saving this one as like a little big reveal. Candace Owens is going to Russia. She informed her audience that the reason why she's going to Russia is as a family getaway. Remember, she just did a family getaway to Italy. She's doing another family getaway to Russia. Now, that's not a place I would go personally. I mean, they're in the middle of a war. They're also kind of our adversary. I personally would not pick Russia as my family getaway location.
A 2025 YouGov study found that 22% of liberals under the age of 44 say that it's okay to feel happy when a political opponent dies. Now, the whole world watched Charlie's final moments. Do you think this generation is just being completely desensitized to brutal killings, especially because of unfiltered social media access?
I don't think that they're desensitized to it. I think they're attracted to it. And I think it's by design, partially because it's a profit model, but also because adversaries of the United States want this filth to be in our society. I mean, there's a Russian intelligence operative who runs influence campaigns. His name is Alexander Dugin, who is sanctioned by the U.S. government because of his influence operations, who has said that
this Alexander Dugin, by the way, is literally sanctioned by the United States as a foreign operative.
His strategy is to stir up hatred and discord within the United States, so that if you have a disagreement with someone, that's the type of hateful sentiment that follows. You can't just have a disagreement. No, it always has to be war, 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 and so that America starts to rip itself apart. And guess what? That Russian intelligence agent interacts with Candace Owens. And Candace Owens also has another advisor and close friend, John Mappin, who is closely associated with Alexander Dugin, that Russian intelligence operative. And he's also connected to the Church of Scientology.
Didn't see that coming.
That's weird when you have those types of influences in your immediate social circle. And by the way, Russian state media, Iranian and Chinese state media as well, propaganda operatives, all amplify her and these conspiracy theories. So they have decided that the way to hurt America is to hurt Erica Kirk and Turning Point USA, and the best way to do that is to help Candace Owens.
Do you think that...
That's pretty weird. Now, again, I don't agree necessarily with all of his conclusions, that Russia's strategy is to target Turning Point USA. I don't know. But I do believe that these are definitely weird connections. Right? She stated that her husband had been to Russia many times before. Candace Owens' husband, by the way, is a British lord, all right, who went to Russia a couple of times. So that's pretty weird. All right, we do literally have a Russian state TV celebrating Candace Owens hitting different milestones. All right, that is pretty weird, like, I have to admit. I have to say, Candace Owens interviewed Hunter Biden, a lot of really weird, interesting people. Now, this is also weird. Now, Candace Owens did not tell you the real reason she is going to Russia. Candace will be joining Putin, Dugin, and many Russia government intel and propaganda operatives as a speaker in the St. Petersburg International Economic Forum. She said she might meet Dugin due to Zionist lore about him. Right. As if her critics are making that meeting happen. The truth, Dugin was already scheduled as a speaker at the same event as her. Right? She was claiming she might meet him. She doesn't know. Knows. Well, it turns out they're both speaking at the same event. It's pretty weird. Putin is going to be at that event. It's pretty weird. So she claims she's going there on a vacation. She says she might meet up with this guy who's literally on American sanctions as a Russian operative. She ends up actually lying. She is going to be meeting the guy. It's not a vacation. It's at the high-ups over there. That is really weird. Candace Owens said she was going to Russia on vacation. Turns out she's speaking at a Russian Federation conference with government officials. That's really fucking weird. I'm sorry. I'm noticing that that's really fucking weird. Now, of course, Thomas Massey, collaborating over here at the America First Pacific Summit Retreat, fled America. He's here with Marjorie Taylor Greene in Costa Rica, doing their nice little vacation.
Here's our ride.
Less than 24 hours, they landed. They are
all these fucking American traitors ran away to Puerto Rico after losing their elections after backstabbing Trump. Yeah, that's definitely how I would act if I had a giant list of hundreds of rapists, murderer, pedophiles. That's what I would do, right? Thomas Massey talking about naming names. He's actually going to burn it all down. He's going to name names and destroy everyone. Fucks off to Puerto Rico for a vacation. Yeah, that's what I would do if I had names of pedophiles. But dude, this entire like conglomerate of foreign influencer retards are getting destroyed. In fact, Hijabba the Hutt, one of my favorite side characters in this internet universe, lost everything. She lost her lawsuit.
It looks like Frogan has lost the lawsuit.
For the fortunate souls
Not Frogan! Not Hijabba the Hutt! We love her!
who have no clue who Frogan is.
No!
I have no pity at all for any fucking soldiers.
Actually, you could just fucking kill yourself, actually. I don't want her to die. I'm just saying that this is like she could do if she wanted to. Like, I would be against it personally, but if she wanted to, she could.
U.S. military? Boo fucking who? I hope you get PTSD. And I hope you get no health insurance when you get back into fucking America.
Frogan breaks down in tears after her friend calls her out for constantly begging for rent money.
And Twitch streaming sucks.
Holy shit! She's fat. God, oh my God. That is a fat woman.
Fucking hate it. It's been bad
I mean, we don't even know if it's a woman. Like, she's under, like, the pillowcase and everything. Like, she might not even be a woman.
for a few months.
Forget about the money, just have fun.
It's my job, though. I have to focus on the fucking money.
It's not that I wanted.
Rip, and now she lost the lawsuit and is losing everything. Man, I really feel bad when we have Islamic supremacist, anti-American piece of shit streamers that are losing their lawsuits miserably to the Jews. Oy vey! It's another Nakba. It's another Nakba, ladies and gentlemen. The Palestinians, they tried to start something again. They lost another time. I don't know if you're aware, that's the new term for genocide in the dictionary. If you look it up, it says Palestinians started a war and lost.
These people to steal my video. It's that I knew
She just got genocided in court.
they would. Reaction by exiting.
I suggest you all watch it through other people as well.
It's the stated malicious intent to steal.
Okay, all right, Frogan. Frogan speaks about the lawsuit and the news on the default judgment surrounding Ethan.
You're gonna buy a Game Pass month?
A gift card so I can use my balance.
I'm so confused.
Wait, you're raising money for a lawsuit against Top Jew? And you're spending your money... Well, not Top Jew. I mean, he is a libtard, after all.
Down. I don't think you guys realize that the lawsuit is still going.
So let me get this straight. She's sitting there buying Steam gift cards so she can play Subnautica 2 while she at the same time has a GoFundMe running for a lawsuit that she didn't even respond to that's now going into a default judgment.
Dog, there are literally fat people in Gaza wearing designer clothes crying about getting donations because they're starving. People have literally fallen for the dumbest low IQ psyop in the history of time.
Donated $200 to your GoFundMe. Super disappointed as to the lack of clarity where that money went. Really a letdown.
Went straight to her belly.
Sad face. This dude decided to give Frogan $200.
Elbozo, bad investment.
That's not $200. That's 200 cheeseburgers.
Not in today's economy. That's like 40 cheeseburgers.
The lawsuit's still on.
I don't think you guys realize the lawsuit is not over.
It's haram! Wait, she can't even have cheeseburgers! It's haram! It's haram!
And I don't think you realize I've been fighting this lawsuit.
How are you fighting it? You didn't even respond. What do you mean you're fighting it?
I cannot...
She's fighting the lawsuit the same way the Palestinians fought for... fought in Gaza. Just got absolutely steamrolled and obliterated. They fucked around and they found out, actually. That happens a lot these days.
Make a comment at this time, but the lawsuit is still ongoing.
Well, yeah, they have to figure out how much money you owe them.
Nobody won, nobody lost.
Well, a default judgment means you lose.
It is still ongoing. They said you lost. Well, they don't know what they're talking about.
It's so over.
There's public
Whatever
documents
you
and court
say.
orders. Then if you read the documents, you'd know what was going on.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I read the documents as well. Yeah, a judgment. There's no judgment.
Oh my God. How do these people survive?
People have been wondering what's going on with Frogan. I think she's confused.
I know how they survive. Our tax dollars. We pay taxes so that these fuckers can survive.
Because I've seen clips of her saying, she's like, oh, you guys think the suit is over? It's far from over. It's
Yeah.
still going on. No, you lost. They failed to respond. And what's crazy is we gave them so much time. Like, she has no out.
But what does that actually mean, default? So,
it means she loses by default because she did not mount a response. It basically, all that's left is for the judge to determine the damages.
Do you think that maybe she's going around saying she didn't lose so people keep donating?
I don't know what's going through her head because she seems to think she hasn't lost. But I promise you, Frogan, you have lost.
No filing whatsoever from Frogan.
Please donate to the Palestinians. They're just one day away from freeing Palestine. Please.
No, she raised almost 40,000.
It's crazy how, like, all of their scams throughout the world, throughout history, you know, Arabs haven't won a single war since the 1100s, right? Like, they have done the same I'm not trying to, like, cast aspersions and say that everyone is like this, but, like, I'm just noticing a pattern that it's everywhere. It's everywhere. I'm so sorry we raped your daughter. Anyway, you're Islamophobic, so you have to forgive me now. What? No, actually, we don't. You're not allowed to deport me because of an Islamophobia or white supremacy. Sir, you raped a goat. No, it actually fits very well within our values.
$1,000.
So is winning in her mind that
she
pocketed $40,000?
By default, it's almost like max damages in most cases, which is going to be like $150,000. I think she thinks she can declare bankruptcy to get rid of it.
You can't. Hassan will help her. He should. It's one of his fucking mods. If he's gonna help her, you won't know about it. Yeah, because it's not gonna happen.
Oh, socialist, why won't he give these guys money? Trust me, if I offer support, you won't know about it.
I guess now we know why we don't know about it.
I also, because it didn't happen.
I want to make clear that I did not receive any support, financial or otherwise, from Hassan Piker, especially
such a fucking snake. It's crazy. Oh no, I can't believe they're subpoenaing him. I can.
After he hinted he might help me behind the scenes.
Base? Base?
The figures are consumers, brother. They are no different than the furry red demon that consumed and terrorized us in the feathered ones.
Oh my god, just all of my ops falling apart. Do nothing, win. Just colossal W's everywhere. And to all the people crying that are being too glib about making jokes about Palestinians starting wars and losing. I thought comedy was legal. Guys. Yeah, it's really sad that a lot of kids were killed in a war that was started by them. It really is very, very sad that those poor kids needed to face the consequences of their parents that elected Hamas as a government, started a war, and lost miserably, just like every single other time they did it. On Eid! Ethnic cleansing on Eid! Oh, I feel so demoralized as a liberal right now. The bad guys are winning and shoving it in our faces. Republicans keep gerrymandering, and we just don't do anything about it. If things don't change, Republicans will have control forever. Now, this is, of course, a reference to the fact that breaking, the Missouri Supreme Court has upheld the state's new 7 Republican, 1 Democrat congressional map, allowing it to go into effect for the 2026 midterms. Another seat lost by the Democrats. No! I hate when you play by the rules that we created and all of a sudden you're winning. No! I hate when that happens. No, I feel so demoralized as a liberal right now. The bad guys are winning and shoving it in our faces. If things don't change, Republicans will have control forever. No, anything but that. Bro, these people are getting humiliated. So just understand what's going on in California. All right, just understand how much they hate you.
One thing that I think we're going to try to do with your support is tax 100%. Anyone from California that receives any of those funds, we want to tax 100% of those proceeds. And that's an action the state of California can take. It's an action we look forward to taking.
First of all, it's not. Second of all, this is basically saying, oh, you want to like fund the January 6 people that were thrown in a dungeon for years without a fair trial? Well, we're just going to tax them all the money that they would ever make. Yeah, we actually just don't like them as a human being, so therefore we're just going to tax them 100% of their money. Yeah, that's just what we're going to do now, actually. You can't find common ground with something like this. Like, these people are just demonstrably evil. Now, Scott Bessent destroyed Gavin Newsom.
Governor Gavin Newsom has floated this idea of a 100% state tax on Californians who receive money from President Trump's anti-weaponization fund. Your response to the governor's call for 100% tax?
There's no cure for stupid.
Governor,
just brutal, just miserable. There's no cure for stupid. Sorry, Gavin, it's brutal. Now, this was going really viral. This was on the news, on Fox News. Basically, someone went around actually asking a couple of people in the streets of California, hey, how's it going in LA? How's life really like in LA?
What makes you angry about LA?
Kind of smell like shit, but it's aight.
Homeless on
Kinda smell like shit, but it's aight.
every corner.
LA isn't a
Oh my god, you hate homelesses?
city. It's a public toilet at this point.
I don't want to walk to my car and go, oops, I stepped in human feces.
Actually, I'm not angry about LA. There's traffic, but it's been like that forever.
There's homelessness, but it's been like that forever.
Yeah.
Whoa.
No, we can't actually fix anything. We just have to wallow forever in eternal muck.
What is Mayor Bass doing to solve these problems?
No, I ain't heard nothing. No
change.
Nothing.
Still smell like I haven't seen none.
I wonder sometimes.
Who were you voting for?
Bass.
Right. Nothing that Bass has done, but you're going to vote for her.
I'm not
That's
even
right.
voting. Does it matter? It really doesn't matter. Spencer Pratt. Spencer Pratt. We're going to have a Pratt Daddy summer, I'll tell you that.
That's
He actually
right.
tells us the truth. He tells you the real hard truth of what's going on.
Karen Bass.
What is Karen Bass's greatest accomplishment?
Removing the homeless.
Yeah, she did a great job with that.
I believe so. Do you
Wait,
agree?
No.
Absolutely not.
Bro, it's worse than ever.
It's been a year and a half since the Palisades fire, and practically nothing has been rebuilt. If this was a year and a half ago, I would be in someone's house right now. Did Karen Bass do a good job handling the Palisade fires?
Absolutely not. She wasn't even here.
She could have done a better job of throwing a ball from here to China.
She didn't do a great job.
So just so we're counting, can't name an accomplishment of Karen Bass, didn't do a good job in the fires, but she's still your girl.
She's still my girl.
Bro, we are literally dealing with professional retards.
Nithya Raman.
Never heard of her.
She says she has the solution to stopping wildfires, stopping backyard barbecues.
I'm African American. I'm whole black. We gonna barbecue regardless.
Yeah! That's America! That's crazy.
Now you can't do that.
Enough said.
Pratt says he just wants you to go get a matcha without having to step on human poop. Is that how low the bar is here in LA?
I have thrown away 3 pairs of shoes for stepping actual human feces.
You do have to watch your step. These people that want to vote for Karen Bass or ramen noodles, you want to step in poop? That's all of us.
He says nobody is
Just
fixing
miserable.
LA's problems.
It's
Is
just
he right?
so
I didn't see
bad.
that to get fixed.
He's right.
I look at Spencer Pratt, I see myself. I see somebody who has directly been affected by the leadership.
You can't solve everything overnight.
She's been mayor for 4 years.
Okay, touche. You got me on that one.
Karen Bass said by 2026 there'll be zero homelessness. Does this look like zero homelessness? How's the homeless situation here?
Bad. The other day I saw a naked man.
It's everywhere. I mean, go down the street
Wow,
right here, you'll see a
W,
crackhead
let's
running.
go.
It's now a druggy situation.
I just seen a homeless person, like 10 different homeless people around the corner. Karen Bass said by 2026 there'd be zero homelessness in LA.
Karen Bass lied her ass off. Maybe December 31st, 2026.
She's a basshole.
Think about it. There is great significance to the passage of time.
Here in LA,
Bro.
if you need to throw something away, look no further than to the ground.
That is bad.
Migrant here in California just got a free government-funded boob job. Has the government ever given you anything for free?
Trauma.
We ain't
Got
got
him.
reparations. Where's mine at? Do I have to be homeless and an immigrant to get anything? I might approve of that one because I want to look at some hot people.
Doesn't mean we have to like you.
By the way, before I let you go, should Gavin Newsom run for president?
Hell no.
A triple hell no. Who the is Gavin Newsom?
You think Kamala bombed? Listen. Ain't he losing his memory? He's old.
Gavin's about
He's
40-something years
old.
old.
So I got
He's
him confused with
old.
that other fool that was running for president.
Bro, it's so fucking bad. Like, these people are actually retarded.
Joe Biden.
Yeah, Joe Biden.
Oh my god, she confused Gavin Newsom with Joe Biden. Dude, these are the dumbest. Like, why do these people vote? They should not have the right to vote.
Go.
What do you want to tell Jesse Waters? You're on his show on Fox.
Oh boy.
Do you know who I am?
Mm-mm.
Here's Johnny.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, it's so bad, dude. It's just so bad. Now, Elon Musk shared this. California passes law making it a crime to report a crime. This is because they're passing the Stop Nick Shirley Act. All right, now, just understand the level of destruction going on. Gavin Newsom's father-in-law fled California. You can't make this up. You can't make this up. This is levels of victory that I don't think, again, I've never expected to see this in my lifetime. So Ron DeSantis, the greatest governor in the country, by far, governor of Florida, the GOAT. All right, so Ron DeSantis goes on Fox News to talk about a little bit of the leftward shift of the leftoids.
I'm doing a fundraiser down in Southwest Florida. People are introducing themselves, and a very nice gentleman was talking about making the decision to leave California, loving Florida, thanking me for how the state's run, pausing, and then saying, hey, I'm Gavin Newsom's father-in-law, by the way. And the crowd erupted. They thought that was...
Oh, my God. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? You're the governor of California. Your father-in-law flees to Florida to thank the governor of Florida for being good. Could you even imagine? This is the most humiliating thing I've ever seen.
But you see California is driving people away still. And just in the last 6...
Even the father-in-law of the governor fled California. You can't make it up. You can't make it up.
6 or 9 months.
You can't make it
up. I mean,
the
people that have left California for Florida, I mean, some really, really big names because they don't like the way California's governed. And, you know, that's just the way it goes. My whole life until recently, people aspired to go to California because it's such a beautiful state naturally, and they've hemorrhaged business, they've hemorrhaged population, and they've hemorrhaged wealth. And that's just a result of the bad policies.
Yeah, because they're
California
retarded.
didn't all of a sudden lose its coastline or lose all the great things it
it's
had.
because they're retarded.
It just got inflicted with leftist ideology.
And by the way, Mark Zuckerberg, co-founders of Google, 2 of them.
Yeah, they all left California. Why would you be in California, bro? It's brutal. So, this guy, Spencer Pratt, guy running for mayor in LA, hopefully he's gonna win his elections in like 4 days. If you live in LA, you have to fucking vote for this guy, okay? You have to. All right? So basically, they try to get him on everything. It's like, but did you even get any celebrity endorsements?
You have celebrities that are now coming out in support of you, but they will deny it, won't they? Leo DiCaprio, Jamie Foxx?
You know, what I've learned is I actually don't want celebrities to come out and endorse me. I don't want anybody to endorse me except for the moms and the animal lovers in LA. That's my entire vote. That's, you know,
the best answer you can imagine.
So I'm cool if no celebrity ever endorses me. I actually love when the celebrities attack me because then I'm like, oh, I am doing so well.
But I mean, DiCaprio, did it happen?
It did. That was, you know, I love Titanic. It was a great movie.
Yeah, damn, bro. So he is killing it everywhere. Now, Spencer Pratt surges in LA mayor race with record fundraising. The former The Hill star launched his long shot campaign in January, focusing on public safety, homelessness, animal welfare, and luring back businesses and residents fleeing crime and fires. From April 19th to May 16th, Pratt raised $2.72 million, nearly 10 times Mayor Karen Bass's and over 6 times Nithya Raman's, the far leftist. Pushing his total to past $3.26 million. On Fox News, he won cheers by rejecting Hollywood endorsements. While polls show him at 22 to 24% behind Bass's 26 and Raman's 25 ahead of the June 2 primary. But he's going to win, man. He's going to do it. We're going to get a Republican mayor of Los Angeles. It's happening. It is actually happening. I can't believe it's happening. So the Democrats are trying to get like this guy as like this cool Texas guy to get the Senate in Texas fired up, ready to go. Posts the gayest image in the history of the world of this guy. Pretty good stuff. Pretty good stuff in general. Now, just to understand what we're dealing with here, this guy is running for Senate, by the way. He doesn't call women women. He calls them neighbors with uteruses.
Every one of our neighbors with a uterus became the property of the state. One of our neighbors with a uterus to be able to control their own body. Our neighbors with a uterus. One of our neighbors with a uterus.
And that's just how he refers to women. You know, he doesn't want to offend the they-thems. All right, so just understand, the gayest man of all time running for Texas Senate, Stephen Miller says the Democrats made history in Texas by nominating their first transgender Senate candidate. The Democrats' official account responded with, "Shut up, you ugly fuck." Again, that's the party of solidarity. Shut up, you ugly fuck. Got him. Got him, bro. Got him. Got him. This tweet was brought to you by an organization currently $18 million in debt, you know. But you understand exactly why they hate Stephen Miller so much.
The Democrat Party does not fight for, care about, or represent American citizens. It is an entity devoted exclusively to the defense of hardened criminals, gangbangers, and illegal alien terrorists. The Democrat Party is not a political party. It is a domestic extremist organization.
So yeah, so we understand why they hate him. It's because he's right, and they don't really have any way to actually counter anything he says. So, you know, they're just going to, like, insult him. The party of tolerance and love, right? Just understand what the party of tolerance and love has been doing. There is an issue. There is an issue when it comes to teen takeovers. Teen takeovers are a bunch of teens just basically blowing shit up in public, attacking people, lighting things on fire. That's a bunch of teens. They go and they do it together. They're black teens. It's probably a coincidence. Anyway, so Mayor Johnson had this to say.
We prevent the vast majority of these from ever taking place. You know,
Now, they happen all the time, by the way.
There's an effort in city council to hold these social media apparatuses accountable. I believe that we should continue to explore.
Let's not punish the criminals. Let's punish the social media apparatuses that the criminals use to communicate with each other. That's it. That's my anarcho-fascist government that I like so much. Don't punish the criminals. Let them rape society, turn society into complete anarchy. But we're going to be absolute fascists to the law-abiding citizens that don't like living among the shit.
That, and I'm going to continue to work with Alderman Hall around that. It's why we're actually taxing these big tech companies for the role that they have played in harming the mental health and well-being of our young people.
That's right. So a bunch of young black teenagers get together. They basically shoot a bunch of people and they light shit on fire and they loot stores and teen takeovers. The mayor goes and he's like, we are going to tax tech companies for affecting the mental health of the people. Teen takeovers. And it's, yeah. What do you want me to say? It's just a fact. It's just a fact. Like, no one likes to acknowledge the fact that facts are real, but facts are real. What do you want me to say? Now, Democrats are cutting ties with the scandal-plagued Graham Plantner, warned of a civil war in the party. That's the guy with the Nazi tattoo that Hassan Piker has been endorsing. It's just looking so bad for them right now. It really, really is. Now, the reason why I want to talk about this so immensely is because we, the actual law-abiding citizens that are working our asses off, building families, believing in God, and paying taxes, we are the ones that, according to the Democratic Party, needs to be the ones held accountable to the absolute degeneracy and debauchery at the literal dregs of society. All right, the people that are committing crimes, that are blowing shit up, that are getting attacked. There was just a protester that was flattened by his semi-truck today. All right, like, and now they're rioting because this protester was flattened by a semi-truck. We don't need to live like this. We don't need to live like this. But they do want us to. Just understand, because I think it's super important to recognize exactly what the enemy is doing in society. And I hope my videos get to radicalize a few people, and they get to share the videos with a few more people and radicalize a few more. Because this generation needs to wake the fuck up before it's too late. Understand what's going on here. The anarchy at the bottom rung of society and the fascists at the top. That is how the left operates worldwide. Never forget.
When the chips are down, these civilized people, they'll eat each other.
You are the unvaccinated. You are the problem. It is the unvaccinated who are the problem. Period. End of story.
The only people that you can blame, this isn't shaming, this is the truth. Maybe they should be shamed, are the unvaccinated.
It's time to start blaming the unvaccinated.
For the record, this is just talking about COVID vaccine. This isn't talking about measles, okay?
Folks, not the regular folks.
Anyone you came into contact with will blame you, as will the rest of us who have done the right thing by getting vaccinated.
Because frankly, we know that we can't trust the unvaccinated.
I think it's time to get our moral house in order, Anderson. It's the unvaccinated who are the threat.
All of us vaccinated folks are going to start wearing masks to protect the unvaccinated folks. It's called a Christian value.
You're basically punishing the vaccinated for the...
And I just love when the godless communists quote biblical values, don't you? Isn't that awesome? Don't you love when that happens?
The sins of the unvaccinated.
People are not behaving honorably. The unvaccinated are basically saying, well, it's open season for me. I can do whatever I want as well.
And then it turns out, by the way, just reminding you in case you forgot, 1 in 16,000 people actually got myocarditis, heart diseases from the vaccines. How many thousands of people was that? I know my cousin. My cousin is a nurse, and she actually got myocarditis from the COVID vaccine. All right, so like she had to get the vaccine right away because she was literally a nurse. She had to get the vaccine to work in the hospital and help people, and she got myocarditis and almost died. So like I that's one example. I personally know more than one person who actually had real side effects from the COVID vaccine, which they said had no side effects. All right, just reminding you. And while people were like, wait a second, maybe we shouldn't do this. People are like getting sick from the COVID vaccine and stuff. It was an onslaught at the top tier of society. An onslaught calling you the problem and saying they wish you died.
The unvaccinated are basically beating their breasts and running around the country saying, ha, we don't care, we're living free and so forth.
Ha, we have the right to my body, my choice? Hello? What are we doing here? They have no principles. None. Never forget. You can never forget what they did to us. Never forget who they are.
We've been patient, but our patience is wearing thin.
Unvaccinated, a group that includes children and people acting like children. And the rest of us are starting to get pissed off.
The vaccinated...
Are you sad that that guy lost his show?
Feel the unvaccinated are making me upset or angry.
This is not about freedom or personal choice.
Well, my freedom...
Why not? Why is it not about personal choice? I don't understand. But you think that your personal choice is okay when you murder a baby, a separate human being with different DNA than yourself in your uterus? You murder this baby? That's okay. That's your choice. But not to get injected with a thing that was barely tested, where they lied about the side effects, that all of a sudden, suddenly, that is not my choice?
Is being kind of disturbed here. No, screw your freedom.
The other day, Howard Stern weighed in with a much different approach. Take a look.
When are we going to stop putting up with the idiots in this country and just say, it's mandatory to get vaccinated?
When are we going to just stop putting up with the idiots and remove their freedom? Let's just do it. I love how they're just like, and then they call you a fascist, right? So that they could justify killing you. Now, one of the reasons why I want to talk about this now is A, to obviously highlight the hypocrisy that they're screaming about fascism, this and that. Also, to prove to you that their allegiance is with the criminals and the scum that is raping our country, going around out there lighting shit on fire or whatever, and arresting the social media companies because they have bad mental health. But more importantly, because I couldn't criticize them then. I could not make the video I'm making now in 2020. I couldn't do it. I would literally go to jail. Like, bro, you don't understand how bad it was. They would ban everyone that would even say anything like this.
Their freedom.
But you're treading on our freedom and you're making other people sick, and really you're killing other people.
The anti-vaxxers, they seem to have a thing for death and home remedies.
The anti-maskers turned anti-vaxxers are not just putting their own lives at risk. If that was the issue, we could just say that we can watch them compete to win place or show in the Darwin Awards.
We have to start doing things for the greater good of society and not for idiots who think that they can do their own research.
Don't get me started on the lunatics who won't take any of the COVID vaccines.
Life is too short to be an ass. Life is way too short to be ignorant of the promise of something that is helping people worldwide.
Maybe you're doing it because you're disconnected or disorganized. Maybe you have some sympathetic psychological reasons. But maybe you're just being antisocial.
Oh, you can't shame them. You can't call them stupid. You can't call them silly. Yes, they are.
Those who are not vaccinated will end up paying the price.
The unvaccinated should be taxed. They should pay more for health care.
We need to...
That's right. If you don't get a vaccine, you should pay more for health care. Pay more money to the people that literally monetized the pandemic, right?
Start looking at the choice to remain unvaccinated the same.
I think we should tax fat people extra. What do you think? What do you think? I think if you're fat, you should pay more taxes because you're a strain, literally. You're more of a strain on the entire healthcare system if you're fat. I think fat people should pay more taxes.
As we look at driving while intoxicated.
We're going to see, and I've said, almost two types of America.
Dr. Fauci said that if hospitals get any more overcrowded, they're going to have to make some very tough choices about who gets an ICU bed. That choice doesn't seem so tough to me. Vaccinated person having a heart attack, yes, come right on in. We'll take care of you. Unvaccinated guy who gobbled horse goo, rest in peace, Wheezy.
Pointing back.
There it is, the tolerant left.
To the unvaccinated who are really creating a problem in this country. Every death that we are seeing from COVID could have been prevented.
Everyone.
Literally, the only people dying are the unvaccinated. And for those of you spreading misinformation, shame on you. Shame on you. I don't know how some of you sleep at night.
Yep, that's right.
The chips are down.
Shame on you. Proceeds to turn around and abort his baby and castrate his son. This is the society that the left is doing their absolute best to create. Anarchy at the bottom, keep us all occupied, and absolute authority on top. But they overplayed their fucking hand, and we're taking our country back. Now, before we dive too deep into the violence going on the left right now, we have to talk about a true patriot. The White House tweeted, "Today we remember a legend." This is on the anniversary of George Floyd's death. On this day in history, Harambe would have celebrated another birthday, an icon that became part of internet's history, American culture, and an entire generation's timeline. Tomorrow marks 10 years since we lost him, 10 years since the moment the world stopped scrolling and collectively mourned something bigger than a meme. He became a symbol of loyalty, strength, chaos, unity, and the strange beauty of the internet, bringing millions of people together for one cause, never forgetting Harambe. That's right, everyone remembers where they were on the day they heard the news, and somehow 1 decade later his legacy lives on. Gone but never forgotten. Rest easy to a true patriot, forever in our hearts. Rest in peace, Harambe. This has 150,000 likes, 22 million views, and let's just say the White House did not say anything about George Floyd. I can't figure out why. God, I love our government. I never thought I'd say it before. Because to be honest, I hate our government. I hate our government, but this fills me with pride to be an American. But yeah, I still hate our government. Sorry. I spoke too soon. But I do love when we are dominating the current culture. What can I say? Let's keep doing that, please. Now, let's not forget someone did celebrate George Floyd's death. I mean, I'm sorry. Commemorate George Floyd's death. George Floyd's brother buys a custom-made $45,000 chain honoring him because the truth is like a lion.
The truth is just like a lion.
Oh, the truth is just like a lion.
You don't
Why?
have to defend it. It will defend itself.
Talk to me.
That is the worst fucking thing I've ever seen in my entire life. The Sonichu medallion for fucking retards. Like, are we serious?
Went to Jack 8th High School. And this is my brother George Floyd.
Look at him smiling. George Floyd's death was the best thing that ever happened to this guy.
So I got half of a lion and half of him because he was one of the star athletes that ever attended Jack 8th High School. And that's right there in the heart of Third Ward where we come from.
Yeah, he fucking sucked. He was this criminal scumbag retard who raped, who pointed a gun at a pregnant lady and robbed her. He overdosed on fentanyl while resisting arrest, and now he's dead, all right? And he sucked, and now he's dead. He died doing what he loved, making white people's lives a little bit worse. Obviously, the memes coming out of this one were a little bit diabolical, to say the least, but the point that I'm trying to make is, when it comes to violent leftoids, which is basically what the entire George Floyd movement was about. It was about a violent leftist dying of overdosing on fentanyl, and then violent leftists burnt our country down. So talking about violent leftists, Scott Bessent dropped a nuke.
Close are you guys finding out who's funding it?
It is ongoing. We made substantial progress, and I think in the weeks and months ahead, we're going to have a lot to report. One thing that did go the underreported that I would point out to all of you is the IRS is now giving guidance on the Form 990, which nonprofits they have to file. And we are going to encourage or demand that nonprofits know their grant recipients. So if a grant recipient is violent, if they are suppressing people's rights, then you are responsible for that. And I think that's a very...
Close are you guys finding out?
That is massive. So the trackdown is still happening. I would have a really good night's sleep on the night that George Soros goes to jail. I'm not going to lie, because this is insane. Now, for people that are unaware that the left is actually just incredibly violent because they don't believe in thou shalt not murder, or thou shalt not steal, or thou shalt not bear false witness, it's all the things, actually. You know, the people that'll make up the fake rape allegations are the same people that will celebrate the assassination of Charlie Kirk, are the same people that are going to support looting businesses that they don't like. Color me shocked and surprised. Well, this is insane. There was another assassination attempt just made against the sitting conservative U.S. Supreme Court Justice. This is crazy, by the way. Insane. All right, so just to understand exactly what's going on, we have basically, call came in,
responding to
sound of gunshots.
There is an LOI for this address that has 24-hour security coverage for a high-priority resident of the county. Units responding to suspicious noise. Be advised, we have not been able to get an answer on callback to the complainant's phone number. And then if it's going to be a swatting situation or not. Or 2111.
Yeah, so that's a really big deal. And, you know, we don't even need to talk about this. It's not even in the news. We need to trust Twitter journalists to actually report it. Someone called the police saying that there were gunshots at the United States Supreme Court Justice's house, because apparently that's just something you have to live with now. Well, a San Antonio man was just arrested for threatening to kill Erica Kirk, because that's also a thing that we need to deal with now for some reason. Her husband was brutally murdered in cold blood by a leftist, and now for some reason, they want to kill her too. I'm so surprised and shocked.
A San Antonio man was arrested today after he was accused of threatening to kill Erica Kirk ahead of a planned appearance at a Turning Point USA event. 26-year-old Jacob Winsky faces 2 felony charges of making a terroristic threat causing public fear. Investigators say he replied to a social media post about a Turning Point event by writing, "I know exactly where to bomb," and a message from an email registered to an account to Winsky allegedly stated, "Death to Erica Kirk and every single speaker there." Certainly a disturbing case. A San Antonio man.
So apparently, we just have to live with this now. That's just how common it is now to have a little bit of left-wing violence, all right? So just to understand, confirmed, Erica Kirk has a new boyfriend. She was spotted getting handsy with new Jewish boyfriend, Blake Wynn, nephew of casino mogul Steve Wynn, at exclusive Beverly Hills hotel. Wow, wow. Now, this is an AI voice.
Didn't tell Rob. I felt like I was doing a disservice. Like,
So anyway, so this guy that's doing the investigation, quote unquote, into Erica Kirk, internet sleuthing at its finest, uses an AI voice to make some allegation that Erica Kirk moved on to a new boyfriend, a Jewish guy. She's controlled by the Jews, I guess. As you can see, this got 2,000 likes, and she replied with 50,000 likes. Every single word here is a lie. Charlie's love will last me a lifetime. The Lord is the only one who could ever fill that most painful void. On May 14th, I was home in Arizona celebrating my son's 2nd birthday. Blake, who was about to be engaged to his longtime GF, was a dear friend to me, to my husband's, and I am grateful for his continued support, just like hundreds of others. Your deranged obsession with me and blatant disregard for any form of truth whatsoever is deeply disturbing, and I am praying you get the help you so clearly need. Brush off the Dorito dust and go touch grass. And by the way, community note, yeah, this was not true. That Blake guy that he was also accusing also showed up. Yeah, Blake Wynn here. I hate to be the bearer of bad news to the cesspool of bots and X-users trying to use their entire day making up things under the guise of journalism. I am not dating Erica Kirk. Oh, yeah? Well, then show me a photo of where you were on May 14th. Like you owe this random freak anything. Now, the media, obviously, Charlie Kirk's widow unloaded on conspiracy theorists who claim she found a new boyfriend. And he's like, funny, nobody reached out to me for comment. No one fucking cares about your opinion. Like, no one cares. Right? Like, dude, Erica Kirk has to respond to a guy who's accusing her of murdering her own husband with a photo of Charlie Kirk as his profile. Like, this is levels of delusion I have never expected to see. I'm no big Erica Kirk fan. I think she needs to stay out of the public spotlight as much as possible. But also, she is a widow. She is suffering. Oh my God, her husband was murdered. 20 likes on his tweet, by the way. Like, again, we need to deal with these people. So, Mayor Jacob Fry, today we remember George Floyd, who was murdered by a former Minneapolis police officer 6 years ago. The moment changes our city forever. Asmongold responds, imagine crying at the casket of a career criminal scumbag who was driving on Fent and pointed a gun at a pregnant woman. You're lucky the Trump admin is full of pussies, or you'd be getting tried for sedition with a best case scenario of capital punishment. Basedmangold. All right, this guy responds with, Asmongold, try not to be racist for a day. Challenge impossible. Sees list of crimes. Immediately starts thinking about black people. Yes, I am the one who's racist. Just completely and utterly exposed here. I actually don't think you should be driving under the influence of fentanyl and pointing guns at pregnant women. They'd be like, oh, you racist motherfucker. You racist. Just let the black people drive on fentanyl and point guns at pregnant people. Like, my God, please, dude, please. Oh my God. Asmongold dropped another response to another tweet. There's a very easy solution for this. This is referring to the teen takeovers. It's all the black teenagers in Chicago going around there and basically lighting shit on fire or whatever. Very easy solution to this. Bring in the National Guard, round all of them up, put them in forced labor camps, shoot the ones who are violent, and attack police. Done. You could literally solve this problem overnight, but we choose to allow these animals to run wild. Elon Musk responds with an 100 emoji. Flint Dibble, greatest name in the history of the universe. The increasing popularity of this sort of rhetoric should terrify everyone. Everyone should be so scared of this rhetoric. It's so dangerous. So, just understand. Erica Kirk, almost killed, right? We got bomb threats. We got death threats constantly against her. Her husband was murdered. We have Supreme Court justices having gunshots heard at their house. We have many assassination attempts against Donald Trump. There was just an assassination attempt against Ivanka Trump. We have shots at the White House all the time. We had shots at J.D. Vance's house. All right, this is just a thing all over the place on the left, and it's celebrated. But Asmongold saying we should actually arrest criminals, that's too much. That should terrify everyone. These people suck, by the way. All right? Drops the whole thing, giving final solution vibes, a terrifying look. Yes, arresting criminals is exactly what Hitler did, all right? Like, this shit doesn't work anymore. Anyone who thinks that people belong in labor camps is objectively a pathetic husk of a human. Terrible L. Labor camps are awesome. They're way better than prison. We get something out of it, too. You can't treat people like that claim any moral authority. All right, so it says a libtard. Like, just watching this crash out is insane. This is like a Joe Rogan guest. All right, all these replies saying that humans are not people. It shows me why they're terrifying. Yeah, they are people. They're people that should get punished for their crimes. Because they're people, we hold them to a higher standard. Which means if they do vandalism, they should go to a labor camp. Absolutely. Based. Why should my tax dollars pay for them to suffer in a little box if they could pay me? If their effort and labor can actually go back to pay for the damage that they've caused. It's such insanity. I don't understand this. This is crazy. Well, Locke's replies, obviously, because, you know, Flint Dibble doesn't want that heat. You know, this is what leftists fantasize about doing to everyone they consider a bigot. You know, and he's like, oh, leftists don't fantasize about putting people in labor camps. They literally do. They literally talk about what are we going to do with Trump voters after the election is over. They've done that on many levels. You know, it's during COVID, they acted like rabid dogs. Oh my God, they suggested a mask. They also suggested that you don't get beds in hospitals. Okay, like what are we even talking about? Like, they just lie to you. Average people are tired of living under the anarcho-tyranny that has been deliberately engineered across America. Criminals and crazies terrorize the public with impunity because of your performative morality. We don't have to live like this. Pick is what my post was discussing. All right, people don't belong in labor camps. And that's it. That's it. Just no logic, no argument. Just moral grandstanding, appeal to the retards. That's what they do. That's just what they do. Why not? Oh, why not? You ever seen a labor camp? It's inhumane. Oh, but you know what is humane? Putting people in a little box in jail. You know what is humane? Just letting them light your city on fire. You advocate to treat humans like livestock? No, livestock can't do labor for you. That's ridiculous. Pathetic, disgusting rhetoric. If you're ill, if you think large groups of people belong in a labor camp. But why? He never wants to actually say why. Right? Because there is no argument for why not. Labor camps are awesome. I don't know what we're doing here. The only thing that's inhumane is allowing animals like this to terrorize the public and hurt more innocent people. Empathy for the evil, apathy for the average person. If not a labor camp, what is your solution for dealing with violent, destructive criminals? I have no problem with prosecuting criminals. Okay, but what about prosecuting them to go to a labor camp? Your inhumane labor camp solution has been tried and rejected as the evil filth that it is. By who? Who rejected this? Like, well, who made Flint Dibble the moral authority on what to do with these people that are terrorizing our country? Your attitudes belong in the trash bin of history, but you rejoice at bringing more violence. You're pathetic. I love how this dude is like, no, actually, we need to leave the domestic terrorists on our streets terrorizing us. Man, leftist discourse really is just moral grandstanding and lying about what your positions are. It's heartbreaking to see, but that's just where we're at. You can never trust these people because they will never tell you the truth about anything. Now, a former CIA officer has been arrested on massive fraud, stealing 300 gold bars and stashing them worth $40 million. That's a big deal, actually.
In his home. If you're wondering how many gold...
But I was told that the CIA were just the best of us.
Bars, that is. The court document says it's about 308. What my team here at NBC News, Dan DeLuce and Gary Grumbach and I found is that that man was not just an employee of any agency. He was a high-level official with top-secret clearance in the CIA. And that he not only lied about what he was doing with this money, but that allegedly he also lied about his background. Said that he graduated from a college he did not attend. That he went to a graduate school he did not attend, and that he had a pilot's license that the FAA said he did not have. So he was arrested last week, and he is now in detention facing these charges of lying about his background and perhaps unknowingly embezzling American taxpayers' money. I want to read you a statement we just got in from the CIA saying that after a CIA internal investigation identified potential violations of the law, CIA Director John Ratcliffe referred the information to the FBI for a law enforcement investigation. The FBI is working closely with our partners at the CIA and the Department of Justice as we continue to investigate this matter fully. So, Hallie, we will be staying on this, but what this looks like is that this was someone who was given currency. He was even paid in cash and watches that he said needed to be used in order to pay for operations that he was in charge of. But rather than keeping it in his office, they found $40 million worth of this gold, as well as $2 million in cash and 35.
But I was told that the CIA was the best of us. They were the best. They were the ones enforcing the law. They were stopping all sorts of terrorism, right? Dude, once you realize that these people are the problem, it makes everything better. You know, February 2025, President Trump says Doge will be going to Fort Knox to make sure the gold is there. May 2025, Elon Musk steps down from Doge. November 2025, Doge shuts down. May 2026, CIA officer found with 40 million of gold. I wonder what's actually going on here. What is actually happening, huh?
We're going to go into Fort Knox to make sure the gold is there. Are they going to? You know that we're going to go into Fort Knox. Do you know about that? That was that bad bump.
Weird, huh? Weird how that happened, huh? Damn. Left, the party of violence. They steal our shit. They expect us to pay for it. They destroy our cities. They expect us to just live with it. Some guy gets arrested, just to be clear. Right, George Floyd, who gets arrested, resists arrest, dies. They burn our country to the fucking ground. All right, yeah, I feel worse for Harambe than George Floyd. I'm just saying. I'm not that any equivocation can be made. Of course, obviously. But I do. I feel worse for Harambe. Harambe didn't deserve it. George Floyd overdosed on fentanyl. It was literally his own fault. What do you want me to say? Bro, it was literally his own fault. It's crazy. We got leftoids celebrating violence, venerating criminals. They love that shit. There's attacks everywhere, and they have no solutions because they don't want solutions because they love the violence. They love the anarchy. They love the anarchy at the bottom rung of society so that they could use their fascist overreach to basically squash us and crush us down. That is what they love, is what they want. It's their goal. And I'm tired of making believe it's not. Like, at some point, the purpose of the system is what the system does. You can't just say, well, it's a beautiful system, they're just happy mistakes made, and now they're lighting shit on fire and destroying shit, right? Sorry, man. Sorry. Chicago is a war zone because that's what the policy does. I also really like that Asmongold is using the term anarcho-tyranny. I've been using anarcho-fascism lately, and it's basically the same idea, except technically part of fascism is actually consolidating and taking control of the means of production, which is definitely a more communist-centered ideology. I personally prefer anarcho-fascism, but I'm really glad that he's like using the same term. He's just right. Yes, this is just true. Like, this is just everyday, average society at this point. Violence is so ingrained into leftist culture and ideology that the people on top want to make sure that they can keep fanning the flames.
This TikToker and her attorney dad were just arrested and charged for allegedly trying to hire a hitman to get rid of her child's also famous father, Jack
Like, am I supposed to sit here and make believe that this is all just happening in a vacuum?
Avery. You would think that being a Florida attorney would mean that you would be smart enough to, I don't know, steer your daughter away from literal for hire schemes to solve her problems, but I guess not.
Yeah, I guess not. I guess they're not actually as intelligent as they think they are. They love the criminals, they love the chaos, they have no solutions, and they'll call you an inhuman, immoral guy because you want to stop them from destroying our country? More people are murdered in Chicago every week than the amount of casualties we took in the entire Iran war. And yet I'm immoral for wanting to take the actual criminals and put them in labor camps to maybe make up for the shit that they have caused in this world. Want to know where my morals come from? My morals come from the Bible. Your morals come from whatever fucking preference you come up with at the day. Oh, I would really like to have a gay orgy with looters and criminals, all right? My personal philosophy and morality absolutely comes from God. The God that says, thou shalt not steal, and the God that says, if you are caught stealing, you have to pay double the amount you stole in penalties, and the God that says that if you don't have the amount of money to pay for it, you have to become a indentured servant to pay off your debts. So, yeah, that's what my morality is. What's yours? Now, in order to keep up the anarcho-fascist policies and tendencies that the left loves so much, you know, they love absolutely with their whole hearts to basically make life for the average person as miserable as possible so that they could give them their beaconing hope of fascism to take their way out of it as they stomp down your dreams. The White House is deporting everybody. They just dropped this aliens.gov showing this video, and it's obviously just a website talking about deporting people that invaded our country illegally based. Now, of course, we have to talk about the GOAT. This ICE agent is standing guard at Delaney Hall with sporting a Hulk green Rolex Submariner on his "We Are the People" tattoo. This is Aura. This is exactly what Aura looks like, ladies and gentlemen. We got the best of us doing what they can for the rest of us. This dude does not need to be an ICE agent. He's rich. He's based. He's got a Rolex. All right, life is good, and he's doing it anyway for the love of the game, ladies and gentlemen. The best of us are doing what they can. A crown for every achievement. Protect the homeland. We, the people, will stand up and fight for what's right. That's right. Now, 2 Minnesota residents arrested for $21 million in Medicaid fraud. Holy moly, it was a Somali again? I can't believe it. Now, for some reason, we just have to make believe that it's normal that this is happening. These people shouldn't even been in our country, man. They shouldn't even been in our country, dude. We were traumatized by ICE. We demand reparations. Meanwhile, this is what they do to us. And it's so obvious, actually. Now, just understand, Tim Walz had a lot to say about this. You know, governor of Minnesota, he had a lot to say.
Do you want to hear more from members and leaders from the Somali community to say, we need to look at ourselves, we need to hold our own neighbors accountable, because look at the damage that this has done to our community. What do you want to hear more from, instead of just saying, don't blame us? Do you want to see more ownership and oversight from within this?
Look, it's not law-abiding citizens. If that were the case, there's a lot of white men should be holding a lot of white men accountable.
That's right, it's white people. The reason why Somalis are being brought into our country and stealing from white people is because white people are bad.
For the crimes that they have committed.
But you see, the difference is white people do hold white people accountable. Actually, that is a pretty fundamental difference here. All right. Again, and I'm not trying to be controversial here when I say it. I want every criminal to get caught. I want all these guys to actually get punished for their crimes. I don't think it's acceptable when anybody does it. I don't care. But when you have a community that is more than happy to cover up their own criminals, run defense for them, they all know what's happening, and they're all going to work with it and be complacent and complicit. I'm sorry, man. That's a societal issue. Okay. All right, bro. I don't know a single Jew that supports Jeffrey Epstein. He was a monster, and every Jew condemned him. Every normal white guy is going to say, yeah, Hitler was actually bad. And, you know, I don't care what race he was a bad guy. But I don't know a single Muslim that actually condemns the Pakistani rape gangs in England. I don't know a single Somali that is condemning the $18 billion of fraud that we picked up on in the Minnesota community. In fact, I do know of a case where there was a Somali pedophile in Minnesota that was arrested, and the entire Somali community came together to basically say, no, he was a really good dude, you should release him.
I think for the community to maybe educate their population, because I think what you're seeing here is there's secondary victims in this, that there's providers inside the community that are then victimizing the community themselves by signing them up, because when we're going to some of these people, they're like, I had no idea I was in this program.
Heartbreaking. Yeah, white men should be holding white men accountable. That's my response to why Somalis are raping our country. Now, just understand, we have a major issue with importing infinite foreigners because these people actually just view us as their vehicle to get our stuff. All right, they are coming into our country with the sole purpose of raping us. That is the goal, actually. So Zoran Mamdani over here, he is now talking about seizing property from landowners in New York, in other words, white people.
I was asked about a specific landlord. This happens to also be a landlord of a building where there was an active beehive within the building.
There was a beehive in the building, so they're confiscating the building.
A level of disrepair.
That was the level. There was a beehive.
That New Yorkers have been forced to live with.
No, New Yorkers could have decided not to live in that building. No one's forcing the New Yorkers to live in that building. They decided they wanted to rent an apartment in that building. Well, they're living in that building now. Sorry, bro. No one's falling for this.
And when nonprofits or tenants are in a position to take over those responsibilities, we're going to make sure that they are equipped to do a better job than the current landlord.
That's right. So we saw a building and had a beehive in it. We're going to be taking that building away from the landlord. We're going to be redistributing it to the state. I hope you're happy, ladies and gentlemen, because this is how it works. That's right. You know, build Western civilization. You build it based on your biblical values. You create the greatest civilization known to man. It's beautiful. We love it. And then we are so good and so benevolent that we are going to import fucking parasites to take it from us and redistribute it to dipshit, retard barbarians who shouldn't even be here in the first place. The building had a beehive. We will be redistributing it now. Hope you're happy. Now, Sneeko, I'm so happy he does this, honestly. It makes me so happy. Zoran Mamdani is doing a fantastic job. Now, Sneeko makes believe he is a based right-wing guy that fights for good values, and then he converted to Islam, and he fucking sucks, actually. So Zoran Mamdani is doing a fantastic job. He's literally a communist. Like, I love how all the ideologies, all your actual based right-wing values, they just get flushed right down the toilet because you will always just support the Muslim guy that's in our country, taking money from the white people and giving it to more Muslims. That is literally what we're dealing with. And no one is surprised by it, actually. Unless, of course, you don't know what Islam is. Like, I am so happy that the mask is so off. Like, you think you could have some based right-wing, Giga Chad, pro-America, nationalist figure that sucks the dick of Islam? I'm sorry, man. It's literally a value set that is incompatible with any nationalistic value. Because the goal is literally to get the entire Americas to submit to Islam. That's the stated goal. No one is surprised. Now, I wonder how Sneeko's YouTube channel has been doing. It must be popping off. He just got unbanned. It must be going so... Oh, he got 500,000 views. Oh. That's really bad. Okay, I didn't even realize this when I was preparing for the video. I just had to double check that this was true. This is actually 3 months. This is past 90 days. I thought that was past 30 days. So on Sneako's YouTube channel, apparently, I can't believe this, by the way. I'm literally shocked. He got 136,000 views on his YouTube channel in the last 28 days. 136,000 views in the last month. Literally, I'm in shock, by the way, by this. I'm not like feigning it. For the record, just on the on the Taku channel alone, I got 7 million views this month. I guess people are not resonating with the new based ideology of Sneako. I guess people aren't actually buying this at all. It's all completely astroturfed on other pieces of social media. Democrats, sexist Republicans are turning America into the Handmaid's Tale. Also Democrats will literally dress up like a subservient Muslim wife to appease Muslim voters. It's absolute cinema. It's crazy. So this is AOC preaching solidarity in her hijab while the male-only crowd ignored her and spoke over her because they actually have no respect for women at all, and they're somehow not at all willing to actually assimilate into our value system at all. That's crazy.
Selflessness and solidarity.
Dude, look at that. Literally the dude standing right next to her is talking and ignoring her.
And most importantly, we renew our commitment to
not one person listening.
because when we work together with devotion to our neighbors, our community, and to this country, we can bring light into the darkness. So thank you once again for having me here today.
It's so bad. It's so bad, dude. Bro, they don't respect you. They don't want to hear what you have to say. They like having you in their pocket, but they have no respect for you whatsoever at all, actually. Bro, just miserable. All right, now ICE pepper sprayed a U.S. senator today, dub. Now, a lot of people are like, no, is this what you voted for? Yeah. Yeah, actually, this is the greatest thing. This is the greatest thing I've ever seen. What are you talking about? This is the greatest thing ever. What do you mean? No, it stings. It really stings. Holy shit, it stings. Anyway, I don't care. That's awesome. Based. Ice pepper spray to U.S. Senator. Let's go. Let's go. Ice pepper spray to U.S. Senator today. And we celebrate. And everyone was happy when we heard this news. Colossal W. Let's go, dude. Now, let's do a little bit of a research into New Jersey's government, all right? Because this is a New Jersey senator, Andy Kim. Let's just understand. But now let's take a look at New Jersey senator, because New Jersey is soon to fall. You know, New York fell. Let's see New Jersey fall. Top New Jersey congressional hopeful volunteered with Al-Qaeda-linked group in the 1990s. That's a red flag. That's a red flag. Yeah, that's really bad. Yeah. Oh, but that was so long ago. Yeah. He only worked with a terrorist organization 30 years ago. I guess we don't need to talk about it anymore. Holy hell. New Jersey congressional candidate Adam Hamaway was born in Egypt, close ties to Islamic terrorists who planned to bomb the U.S. We just have to live with this now?
Adam Hamawi is seeking the Democratic nomination in New Jersey's 12th district, where the primary will likely determine the next member of Congress. Hamawi was a close disciple of convicted terrorist Omar Abdel Rahman.
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, we got to get rid of this guy. What are we even doing here?
The Blind Sheikh, spiritual leader of bin Laden's terror network.
Sheikh Abdul Rahman surrendered to federal authorities at a New York mosque today.
The Blind Sheikh was convicted of conspiring to also blow up the United Nations headquarters, a federal building, 2 tunnels, and a bridge.
Hamawi testified on his behalf during his 1994 trial and stands by him today.
He has certain views.
And now he's running for Congress.
That he spoke in certain forums, but that's not what he did every single day.
Oh, he just preached love and stuff. You know, in between calling for bombing bridges, tunnels, and the United Nations headquarters. In between all of that, he was just a loving, wholesome guy.
After leading terrorist organizations in Egypt and Afghanistan, the Sheikh moved to the U.S., promoting in mosques a forcible conquest of the United States.
Yeah, I don't want that guy running my Congress. I don't want that guy in the government. In fact, he shouldn't be at all.
Hamawi met him at an event and attended his speeches in New Jersey. In 1991, he was one of 6 individuals who accompanied him to Detroit for an Islamist conference. According to Jewish Insider, in 1994, Hamawi volunteered in Bosnia with Benevolence International, a Serbian al-Qaeda front designated as a terrorist organization by the UN Security Council.
That's not good.
That year, the Sheikh was arrested for plotting attacks on New York landmarks. Hamawi testified that the year of the World Trade Center bombing, he told the Sheikh, "It is my spring break now. If you need anything, just give me a call. From prison, Abdurrahman smuggled a fatwa to al-Qaeda leaders Osama bin Laden and Ayman al-Zawahiri, authorizing attacks against the U.S. Tear them to pieces, destroy their economies, burn their corporations, destroy their peace, the fatwa said. Hamawi is a loyal follower of the Sheikh.
He must have been charismatic enough for you to travel with him. Not just me, the entire community.
Hamawi says the blind sheikh was just a leader of his community, even though he led al-Qaeda in Egypt and other militant groups before coming to America.
Yeah.
So that's...
There totally isn't a reason why we should be wary of these people taking power in our country. It's Islamophobic for you to think so.
Kind of taking things out of context.
Anyone connected to a
Yeah, you're taking it out of context. Yeah, I know he's in prison for terrorism, but you're taking it out of context.
terrorist who planned to blow up New York and New Jersey has no place in the Democratic Party.
Yeah, well, now I guess he does. I guess you were wrong about that one. I guess he has a pretty good place in the Democratic Party because it looks like he's doing pretty well so far. We'll see. This is hilarious. Two brown guys walking out of ICE Newark in New Jersey's facility, and leftist idiots started cheering. They didn't realize they worked there. This is awesome. They're like, yo, the Mexicans are leaving. The Mexicans are leaving. They work here. That's right, they're ICE agents. A lot of you don't know this because you would probably think that right-wing politics is racist and shit. But based black people and based Mexicans are some of the coolest fucking people in the country. And I think every single conservative actually believes this. So the reality is, I'm not racist. I just want more of you guys to be based as fuck.
They work here.
Yeah, so first they celebrate that the Mexicans are leaving, let's go. And then it's like, oh yeah, they arrest the criminals based. Yeah, so UCLA turned its back on Jewish and Israeli students, failed to protect them from discrimination and harassment. Just to understand, in UCLA, there were Jewish students beaten to unconsciousness with sticks in a Free Palestine peace march. Just to understand what's going on everywhere now, because apparently we just have to live like this. Yeah, we just have to live like this. You can't possibly be against something like this, right? Yeah, how could you do that? Well, why shouldn't we invite infinite foreigners with their own cultures into our country? Breaking, man shouting Allahu Akbar stabbed 3 people at a train station in Switzerland in front of a class of children. Police are saying motive unknown. Yeah, Switzerland can't figure out what the guy screaming Allahu Akbar's motive could have possibly been when he stabbed a couple of kids. All right, 28-year-old Dutch citizen arrested today in the City Hall of The Hague. Oh, that's pretty bad. Netherlands for making bomb threats. That's pretty bad. Look at this guy. Look at this fucker. Look at this big fat fuck. Look at this fat fuck over here. That's pretty bad. That's pretty horrible. Yeah, Dutch citizen. We can't possibly understand anything more. He's just a Dutch citizen, guys. He's just a Dutch citizen. Look at how much DNA is over here. Look at all the DNA. The Dutch DNA that we're witnessing in front of us.
They actually found another Pakistani rape gang this week.
No shit.
They found another one.
Fork found in kitchen.
Damn. Oh, that's
fuck.
Look, man, I'm not gonna sit here and make believe I'm like shocked and surprised and appalled every time this happens. Like at some point you just have to like accept that, yeah, this is just normal. This is just normal if you're gonna welcome these people into your countries. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You could call me racist, but you can't call me a liar. I'm just there. We're just there. Just understand how bad it is. So ICE is actually finally delivering.
ICE out! ICE out! ICE out! ICE out! ICE out!
Ice out, ice out. Please let the pedo stay. Let the pedo stay. The left, the pro-rape party. They love that. They love rape.
Anti-ICE activists haven't stopped a single deportation, and yet they still proudly get carried away like literal toddlers having a temper tantrum.
I mean, that's technically, if you think about it successfully, ICE agents have, ICE protesters have single-handedly decreased the amount of people voting for the Democrats because 2 of them committed suicide by cop. So therefore, -2 on the Democrat voter rolls, I guess.
As ICE agents are
died doing what they loved, protecting pedophiles.
Starting to get sick of this, since they're leaving literal garbage outside the ICE facility and even making cement barricades, which really mean nothing when they got a bearcat. And we don't want to see them get run over due to their mental incompetence.
We would hate to see something like that, right, guy? We don't endorse that, right, guys? Right? Listen, I'm on YouTube right now. There's some things that we cannot say.
Because even though these activists are adults, they're still idiots. As at one point, a couple minorities walk free from the ICE facility.
I love this video. This is so good.
They work here.
That's racist. They just assume.
Yeah, racist as fuck. The left is racist. Yeah, we know.
Damn, they just assume that they got racist.
The subtle racism of cheering on brown people because they're brown
That's right.
lets everybody know you assume they're criminals that were just in custody,
That's right.
not men leaving their jobs. Which proves again, they don't want minorities to succeed. They want a permanent serf class they can
There it
see as a
is.
sort of pet.
There it
Something
is.
completely incapable of
And the more
providing.
terror that they could do, the more likely they will basically fatigue out the people that want them gone. That's what they expect. They think that they could slow operations down to a crawl by just basically blowing shit up in public. And they expect us to just be like, you know what? I don't want to deal with this. Just move on. And we can't do that, actually. We can't. We can't do that at all.
For themselves, or even getting an ID, or going on the internet.
Young black kids growing up in the Bronx who don't even know what the word computer is. They don't.
Black kids are retarded and dumb. Good point. Kathy Hochul, governor of New York.
No, they don't know these things.
Which this type of leftist thinking finally gives these idiots a sense of superiority. That's why when somebody like me actually thinks for themselves, they revert right back to their racist tendencies.
Oh shit! Is it an Asian with an opinion? That's crazy.
Which lines right up with their stupidity, as this is who they idolize.
Be like Renee! Get in the way! Be like Renee! Get in the way!
As
They're
good
literally all minorities and liberal white women, and they're all fat. It's just incredible. It's incredible.
death was a completely avoidable, pointless tragedy. But somehow that's the epitome of what these activists strive for, being the left's next completely avoid.
Be like Renee, is that what they were screaming? The lesbian, the kamikaze Karen that fucking committed suicide by ICE? There's no shot. They were saying be like Renee.
As Good's death.
Renee, get in the way! Be like Renee! Get in the way!
Be like Renee. They actually, this is just leftist jihadis. They like actual suicide leftist bombers. This is crazy.
As me of what these activists strive for, being the left's next completely avoidable, pointless tragedy. Because it's one thing when Good thought she was playing resistance forces, not knowing if you drived into an armed federal agent, you'll be ended. But after that and Pretty's incident, these idiots have to know, just because you're playing protester doesn't mean the ICE or pretend cops. But that doesn't stop them from this kindergarten nonsense, getting into tiny little scuffles. Until they all get bear maced, trying to run away, realizing they can't escape.
Many such cases.
Please take no time.
El Bozo, you're gonna go. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Now, we're all incredibly grateful for these street journalists like Olia Scootercaster, Brendan Gudenschwager, and Elad Elihu, and I apologize for my enunciation. I pronounce basically nothing correctly. But it's just interesting how these protests are practically 90% journalists now. Well, I can count more cameras than actual activists, but maybe it's because there's only so many idiots left, willing to be beaten and arrested.
He's tasing this guy. They're tasing this guy.
Thanks, let's go. Let's go. Max, do you like violence? Only when it's done to retards.
You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 batons, pepper spray.
Oh, let's go.
And they just tased him.
Oh my god, is he threatening me with a good time? I'll take seconds.
They're picking him up. Hey, we're journalists!
And it would be one thing if this resistance was going back and forth with the federal forces.
Actual LARPist revolutionaries. They really thought they would get a couple of Hassan Pikers to stir up the people to actually fight back. These dipshits just get wiped out every day. It's crazy.
Out of 3 anti-ICE sieges, one of the immigration facilities was forced to shut down, or since they started marching en masse, deportations have since been cut in half. Only then would we think, okay, it kinda makes sense that they're willing to catch criminal charges on behalf of their political leaders. But absolutely none of that is happening. They're just out there every day and every night,
That's right.
almost like they don't have a life or even a job. As well
Or maybe this is their job. Maybe this is getting funded. Maybe it's astroturfed.
into the evening.
There can only be so many kamikaze Karens, you know?
nothing has changed.
Oh, you was waiting a long time to do that.
Glory to the proletariat! Glory to our revolution!
Glory to the revolution with a little fucking gay Palestine flag, dude. Everything is Palestine. Everything is Palestine. It's just the ultimate Trojan horse for these dipshits.
Victory or death!
Listen, you asked for it, man. How could they possibly complain when Renee Good commits suicide by cop, or when Alex Preddy gets put out of his misery? All right, how could they possibly complain when they're screaming victory or death? Like, you're literally giving them what they asked for. Again, I'm not happy that these people died, but I'm not going to sit there and mourn these retards committing suicide by ICE.
I believe that! We will win! I believe that!
He looks like a very confused and bored young man playing dress up.
Bro, that is a Redditor. A Redditor that decided to come out and LARP for Palestine.
With his bagpipe, British World War II uniform with a Palestine flag. But that just highlights who these people truly are. LARPers that have no idea the game they're playing, as eventually the feds have a job to do, spraying anybody in their way.
Hey.
As even Scootercaster got sprayed, saying her skin felt on fire. And if you haven't already, go follow Scootercaster NY on X. She and BG on the scene are consistently the only reason we know what's really going on out there. Capturing how these leftist activists are even playing
Tell you, man, civilian journalists are saving the country.
and medics.
Medic! Ow! Medic! Medic!
Gotcha.
Complaining when those
Oh my god, did you see her rubbing her eyes? Holy shit.
Medic!
Well, she got genocided.
Ow! Medic!
Oh, she got genocided.
Medic!
Gotcha.
complaining when those medics get arrested.
Hey. Absolutely. You take out the enemy party's white mage first, and then you slowly but surely whittle down the rest of the guild. I'm just saying, you aim for the white mage, and then you take out the damage dealers. It's very efficient that way. Based. Sorry. It's alright, that's just how it works. Bye.
As when activists, journalists, and even so-called medics gather in large mobs to stop federal law enforcement from doing their job, getting maced and detained should almost be expected, as I don't really believe these are actual medics, the same way I don't believe that guy was really a Palestinian
You don't think that was a Palestinian World War II soldier?
in World War II soldier.
That's ridiculous. Okay, that's ridiculous. He's just as Palestinian as any of the other people that claim that they're from Palestine, which is a country that's not real.
No, he was cosplaying likely like the medic.
How dare
and all
you?
for what?
How dare? Are you just gonna say that to all the Lebanese and Egyptian people that make believe they're Palestinian today?
To support this hunger strike against the enforcement of America's border laws, which of course accomplishes nothing.
Look, I've done this since 1984. Hunger strikes never work. We're not going to change what we do because someone goes on a hunger strike.
Hunger strike, bro. It's another genocide. It's another.
As a matter of fact, if it gets bad enough and the physicians feel like
They're just gonna get hungry. What do you want from me?
putting themselves
Okay, they'll be hungry.
in extreme danger, medical danger, then we'll force feed them. We'll get a court order and force feed them. Hunger strikes do not work.
And just like the animal activists cementing their feet
Trying hunger strikes. These people are actual retards. They went on the Reddit thread and they were like, yeah, hunger strikes, that'll get them.
to things, we secretly hope the authorities would just let them be. They can lose their feet or refuse to eat until they eternally sleep. How is that society's issues to solve their stupidity? The problem being,
I don't even know why we need to force feed them. Like, if they're dumb enough to not eat until they die, that seems like a self-correcting problem. Like, again, I don't support it. I want them to live. I don't want them to die. But if they do it to themselves, what am I supposed to do? Am I going to stop him, bro? Am I going to stop him?
is when nobody pays them any attention, they refuse to let the rest of us live normally. These anti-ICE activists in LA again decided to destroy a robo-taxi.
Wow, so brave. Yeah, let's make our city just a little bit shittier.
And keep in mind, they did this very thing almost a year ago in the same exact city, again accomplishing nothing other than the citizens souring on the left, swaying.
These are useless people. These are completely and utterly useless humans, all right, that are decided that, you know what, instead of actually making something out of my life, I am just going to make everyone else's life a little bit more annoyed.
So far away, everybody
But we're going to get a Republican mayor in LA because of this.
is now supporting a Mayor Spencer Pratt for LA.
That's right.
So if you appreciate my concise.
I do. Yeah, absolutely. Great stuff. No, but people aren't recognizing the W's that are coming out of our ears right now. And I am so grateful to God that we made it this far. Bro, the libtards are losing their stranglehold on our culture so fast, I can't even believe it. Olivia Rodrigo, she's a woman, I guess, speaks out on criticism for wearing baby doll dress during a popcast interview. All right, so this was her in her little baby doll dress and stuff, and this is her addressing the backlash, because she got a lot of backlash. I'll show you why in a second.
The other things you've been a lightning rod over is like the baby doll dress.
That's been making me so upset. Not even for me, like I don't care. People could say
what does
whatever
it
they
mean
want.
to you?
No, she's upset.
Does that
what's
choice
really
mean
like
to you?
disturbing is I feel like I actually I have worn outfits that are like maybe revealing on stage. Like I've been on stage.
Yeah, you're a hoe.
In like a sparkly bra.
Yeah, you're a hoe.
And like little shorts and like, which is my right. That's fun. I felt cool.
Yeah, you have the right to be a hoe, unfortunately. Unfortunately, we didn't put women back in the cages yet. We're not there yet. Give us another Trump term. Maybe we'll get there.
Cool and comfortable in that. And like that wasn't inappropriate, but
yeah, it was. You're a hoe.
Being like fully covered up in a dress that people deemed to be like childlike was
it's literally a child's dress.
Inappropriate. Yeah. And I just think it just like shows how we just like really normalize pedophilia.
We are normalizing pedophilia because you wore baby clothes and sexualized yourself? Like, are we understanding what she's saying?
In our culture, and
bitch, you are normalizing pedophilia.
Also, it's just this like rhetoric that we're fed as girls since we're so little, which is like, don't wear that because then a man is going to sexualize your body and it's your fault.
True, based, absolutely, completely correct. You should not dress like a hoe because then men are going to sexualize your body and it is your fault. Now, is that an excuse for men to rape you? Absolutely not. Duh. But it is totally your fault if you decide to dress like a hoe and then men are going to sexualize you. Of course, that's your fault. Obviously. It's not an excuse for a man to do anything wrong or to rape you or to sexually assault you. God forbid. That's obviously horrible and not acceptable. Hello. This isn't an Islamic country. What are we talking about? But that doesn't mean it's not your fault if men sexualize you if you dress like a whore in public.
Like, it's so weird. And I didn't think that I looked sexy in that at all. I was like, this is so cool. I feel
it's so cool that I'm dressed like a little baby.
Like Kathleen Hanna or like Courtney Love, all these people who are my heroes. Yeah. And I felt cool and comfortable in it. And like,
this is why people need better heroes. Because you'll turn out like this.
I just think if we start dressing in a way that's like, oh, I don't want some freak to think that I like am sexy like a baby or like some crazy thing like that.
Why would anyone even think of such a crazy thing? Anyway, this was her performance. Crawling around on all fours, showing her panties. Yeah, I can't believe people are going to sexualize a girl that dressed like a baby and showed her panties on stage while crawling around seductively. I can't believe a man would sexualize you for doing something like that. I can't believe men are normalizing pedophilia. But I'm so happy that culture is finally pushing back on the infinite hoification of society. All right, so here we have a man named Nyara saying that if female, this is unfortunately a deluded man that thinks he's a woman, that says if being female requires you to produce large gametes, then you're not a biological woman. Women are more than their productive roles, and feminists have been arguing that for decades. Trans women support this view while you reinforce patriarchal sexist roles. See, this is stupid because patriarchy is an inherent part of life. Because ultimately women can't actually do anything without men's approval because men ultimately have a monopoly on force in society. That's just a fact. But they like make, again, the party that thinks that men could be women is also the party that think that women can somehow overpower men. So J.K. Rowling responds to this fucking retard who has slandered me to oblivion, by the way, which is always nice to see. Do nothing, win, and my ops just fall apart. This is really simple. A female body is organized to produce large gametes. It is irrelevant whether the female in question is too young or too old to produce viable eggs. It is irrelevant whether the female's eggs have ever been fertilized or resulted in a birth. Yeah, because a woman is the person that has the biological ability to get pregnant, regardless if this individual woman does not. It's like saying, men are stronger than women on average. Oh yeah, but some men are 5'6". Okay. Men are taller than women. Oh yeah, but this woman's 6'2". All right, dude. leftist argument be like, let me point at this random little detail, and then now somehow make believe it, your entire narrative falls apart. You know, hundreds of young trans people seeking help to return to original sex. I don't think there will be a return journey, Mr. Frodo. It's over for you guys. Now, there's this very popular movie from Christopher Nolan, The Odyssey, coming out, and Lupita Nyong'o, for some reason, that's the name of a person in the United States, and she is a black woman that is going to be playing Helen of Troy, I think. And oh my God, she is an insufferable hypocrite, like honestly insane. And wonderfully, society is fucking done with it.
Today we're dealing with my least favorite kind of person, the overtly hypocritical sort that just can't admit when they're wrong. So I confess that when I saw the news about this Black Helen of Troy lady, Lupita Nyong'o, I'm probably saying that wrong, I'm probably going to keep saying it wrong, I love butchering names, it's my favorite pastime. When I saw the news about her casting, I did feel a little bit sorry for her, because similarly to
Your first mistake. Having empathy, it's okay. It's okay.
To how I view the actor who is playing Black Snape, Papa Asiadu, I figured that this for her was the opportunity of a lifetime. She accepted the role, and really the person who is largely at fault here is actually Christopher Nolan. I was fully prepared to give this woman the benefit of the doubt, but
yeah,
no
I'm glad one of us was. I'm way too cynical for this. I'm way too cynical to look at someone who hates me and my culture and my country and wants us destroyed and replaced and eliminated and turn our country into a shithole that's quite literally an agent of Satan that hates God and every one of our values. I'm not going to be like, you know what? I'm sure this person has the best intentions in mind. Actually, I'm just tired of that.
Baby birds. I don't feel like that anymore. In the last week or so, there has been a lot of movement around the upcoming Christopher Nolan Odyssey film. The trailer has officially become the most disliked in Christopher Nolan's career. News articles have dropped left, right, and center, with the cast finally weighing in, and that includes Lupita, I don't know why I can't wrap my brain around her last name, Nyong'o. The woman slated to play Helen of Troy and Helen's sister, Clytemnestra. To be clear, for the 50th time...
Dog, if you turned the lights off, she would be invisible.
These two women are not twins, so why we have one woman playing two sisters who are not twins? I don't know, but I am beginning to really dislike Christopher Nolan. You are overrated, buddy. Now, given that Helen of Troy is Greek and thus described as white and fair, this race-swapped casting decision has made people very upset, including the Greeks themselves. But if you were also like me and assumed that Lupita was just taking a great acting opportunity and she wasn't thinking about the fallout...
She's the Wakanda lady. She's the lady that went out there and being like, man, we need better, more accurate representation in Wakanda. Bitch, Wakanda's not real, and you wanted accurate representation.
You would be wrong. I would be wrong. We were all wrong. And now, after watching a boatload of this woman's interviews and also reading her interviews, I have decided that not only is she a giant jerk, but she's also a massive hypocrite. On May 21...
Yeah, she's a socialist millionaire. Like, where have we seen this before?
In 2026, Elle magazine published an article headlined, Lupita Nyong'o is honored to be your Helen of Troy. Straight up, nothing about this article will give you that indication. Lupita is entitled, and it shows in everything she says, but that's a total aside. In this piece, Lupita explains how Nolan gave the cast authority to, quote-unquote, advocate for their characters when it comes to hair, makeup, wardrobe, and so on. So glad you were consulted, Lupita. Looks great. We can't wait. But the two notable parts of this interview are when Lupita comments on Helen of Troy's beauty and the race swap itself. She said, you can't perform beauty. I want to know who a character is. What is beyond beauty? What is beyond looks? That's the thing about doing such a well-known text, which has been studied and interpreted and derived from. Helen of Troy's story.
Are you being serious? What are we even talking about?
Is about her looks. That's the point. I get this new age desire where everybody wants everything to have depth, but beauty in this case is the point.
Oh, are you stupid?
Lupita goes on to say that the...
Yeah. Because for some reason, they simultaneously want you to think that every woman is beautiful and be like, but you're not allowed to look at a woman like she's beautiful. Like, that's not the point.
Critiques of her as a Greek character are racist and emphasizes that the Odyssey is a mythological story after all. She said, I'm very supportive of Chris's intention with it and the version of this story that he is telling. Our cast is representative of the world. Jeez Louise. It's quite something to be part of the Odyssey because it's so grand. It spans worlds.
It's like, it's such an obvious CIA-funded op. All right? Every time I see, like, a new movie come out with very obvious propaganda, it's like, yeah, okay, so how much did the CIA pay you to do this? Because the movie's gonna flop now, right? If they would have just made different casting choices, this movie would have been a slam success. And they decided to make the worst casting choices of all time, with obvious propaganda as their motivations. It's like, How much did the CIA pay you to make this worth it?
No, it doesn't. So that's why the cast is what it is. We're occupying the epic narrative of our time. That is crazy, Lupita, because that's exactly what it's not. The cast is in no way meant to be representative of the world. This is a piece of Greek art from ancient Greek history representing Greek mythology and Greek people and their culture. If it's going to definitively represent anything, it should be Greece, which we know it won't. At all. Of course, as probably many of you can expect, this article really irritated a bunch of people, and they decided to then start digging into her and her previous interviews. I love when this happens. And well, what do you know? It turns out that Lupita only cares about accuracy and representation when it concerns Africa and African stories.
I did not see this coming. See, this is very surprising to me because notably, a lot of these like woke blacktivists constantly talk about how white culture is worth preserving because it's awesome. No, actually, I don't think I've ever heard any of them say that at all.
Made up. Who could have guessed? Who could have seen this coming?
Not me.
It's actually super unfortunate, but one of the things that a lot of people don't see coming is identity theft. But with the help of today's sponsor, Incogni, you can make sure your private information is not on data broker websites.
I really don't want my identity to get stolen by someone and turned into an African warlord. It's wild that we still need to live with these people trying to lecture us about morals and society when these are like the most dipshit Diddy party influencer people of all time. Like, these people suck. They suck as humans. And I'm supposed to somehow take what their random proverbs and morals at face value teaching me on my philosophy. Dude, this is an 85 IQ millionaire Nepo baby who was given everything in her life, who was a living propaganda mouthpiece for the woke Jews running Hollywood or whatever. And it's insane that we need to live like this with these people telling us about how we're supposed to live. Bitch, you're not important. You never were important, and you never will be important. You are one of the least important people probably in America.
Discusses her role in Black Panther. Yes, you know the film, the one that is set in a made-up African country with a made-up language and made-up people. The one that people went insane over because it was a mostly black cast, and you know, those people told white people not to go see the movie opening weekend so they could have a pure black experience. Yeah. That film. I completely forgot until 5 minutes ago.
I also forgot they did that. It was like, man, we're really happy that we're making a film about black people. Now, we don't want white people to go watch it so we can have a black experience and take the movie so that we can have an unbelievably failed launch because we love black people so much.
That some black people and pick-me white people were telling other white people not to go to the cinema that weekend because they were thinking that we were going to stuff up the black experience. It's just... Oh, we live in hell. Anyway, in the interview, Lupita comments on the misrepresentation of Africa that often takes place, suggesting it is a huge problem. She goes on to say that although the continent in Black...
Dude, why do these people's opinions matter to me? I have never understood this.
Panther is fictitious, it really was important for the cast to get the language right, the accent right, and represent the mythology accurately.
What Black Panther shows us is that there is a whole host of people who get the misrepresentation.
Bitch, you... read the words written by smarter people for a living. Your opinion means nothing. And what are we doing listening to these people? Like, how far have we fallen? That society has, for some reason, propped up these absolute... The goy slop is on another level. The goy slop is insane.
That Africa has had, and who...
Because Africa's a shithole, man. It's because Africa fucking sucks. All right, we've been giving Africa trillions of dollars and shit to not be shitty, and it's still shitty. Africa sucks. Like, I don't want to be racist here when I say that. It's just objectively true. All right, so why are we doing this? Why do we need reality to conform to what we want it to be instead of just acknowledge life for what it is?
Respect the continent,
I don't respect the continent. Because it sucks, okay? It's never produced anything of value. Like, what do you want me to say? You want me to respect the continent? Why? Why should I respect this continent?
Reinvestigate the continent and re-represent the continent.
We have to reinvestigate and re-represent the continent. We have to figure out why the people in Zimbabwe that were living in shithole mud huts before colonialism and after colonialism, we have to figure out, we have to reinvestigate that.
You know, oftentimes the African continent, when it's portrayed on...
we have to reinvestigate why the average IQ in Somalia is 67.
In cinema, it's very general, and we were all hell-bent on it not being general. So the fact that, you know, our fictitious African nation speaks the language Xhosa, we needed to learn that language. We needed to, you know...
It's not a real language. We're talking about representation in Africa. This didn't exist.
Get the accent in English and everything, though it's a fictitious nation, it is brought to life and derived from real African cultures. And hopefully there is a celebration as a result, a respect for these very wealthy and diverse cultures that often just...
bro, I need to make sure that the orcs in Lord of the Rings manage to speak Orcish very clearly. I need all the actors playing the orcs to speak Orcish clearly, because then how literally derived from Afghanistan culture. If the orcs don't speak proper Orcish, how can we respect Afghans? Like, bro, this is what I'm hearing right now.
Get washed is one thing.
Wow, it almost sounds like mythology, and the culture from which that mythology is derived matters after all, doesn't it, Lupita? Guys, I know I shouldn't be surprised at all because every day is Groundhog Day, but I find it insane that she says all of these things with a straight face, and then here we are all these years later, and she's saying that actually none of this matters.
Now, I love that people still take the words that these bitches spew at face value. And these bitches, I refer to Lupita Nyong'o. I'm not talking about Sydney Watson, okay? She just hates white people. She just hates America. She hates white people. She's loyal to Africa and loves Africa and likes black people more than white people, and she's racist. So therefore, she hates white people, and she wants to erase them from their stories. She likes black people, and she wants them to look more awesome than they actually are or whatever. Whereas I, like all people, I'm just that guy. I'm just that guy that likes all people in general, and I believe that everyone is made in the image of God. But that doesn't mean we live in a false reality, making you believe that Africa is a paradise and that white people are bad. Dog, white people created the greatest civilization known to man. Western civilization, the greatest civilization. African civilization doesn't exist. There is no civilization.
That culture doesn't matter and the mythology doesn't matter, and being honest about these cultures and mythologies doesn't matter because it doesn't concern Africans. You can't make this stuff up.
I love how she's like, I can't believe she's a hypocrite. Bro, she just fucking hates you and wants you to die. That's where we're at.
If you take nothing else from this video, it should be this, because this is the funniest thing I'm including. She reportedly even dropped out of her role in the 2022 film The Woman King because it was failing to accurately portray marginalized African communities and their histories. This is, like, I'm not even joking, this is the funniest thing that I think I've ever read. This movie told the story of the West African Ogoji tribe's all-female warrior regiment, which really did exist. Lupita was apparently originally so excited about being cast in this movie that she went on to make a mini documentary about the Ogoji tribe and the area that the tribe comes from. So she goes to visit, and here she's all excited because she's being told about the tribe, and she sees panthers and some swords crossed on a wall and some artwork that they did, and she immediately attributes it to the Black Panther and the made-up country that is Wakanda.
No, that's not real. That's not real. That's not real. No, that's not real. Please tell me that's not. Dude, these people aren't that fucking stupid, right? Like, I know they're retarded, but they're not that retarded.
Did not expect to see panthers. At the top of the mound is a crisscross of two swords forming like a scissor shape, which for me reminded me of Wakanda Forever, which is so dope.
And we're listening to these people explaining morality to you? No, that's not real. These aren't real people. Goyim aren't human, I guess. What can we say? I'm kidding. I'm joking. But, like, what are we doing? What are we doing here? What are we doing? That's fucking crazy. That's insane. Bro, what are we doing? What are we doing?
But unfortunately, after she learned that the tribe was in fact brutal, violent, and participated in slavery...
Obviously! They were African. They all had slaves. All of them. Who do you think sold the slaves to the Americans and to the Europeans? Who do you think sold them to the white people? Black people. What are we even talking about?
She said that any...
They were way more brutal than white people, by the way. Way more brutal.
...that this tribe was a beacon of enlightened feminism, like the women in Black Panther, was long gone. I want you guys to understand this. No. She was attributing a real-life tribe, a real-life African tribe, to a made-up country from a frickin', what is it, Marvel movie? Is that what it is?
That's
and then
miserable.
she's disappointed when the real-life tribe isn't this feminist icon that she hoped that it would be, like in the Black...
They were fucking savages. Like most tribes in Africa. What are we doing?
Panther made up movie. Like, yeah, obviously, Black Panther is made up. You got to experience reality, Lupita.
I can't
Isn't it unpleasant?
This is
anyway,
happening.
Shortly after this,
I can't believe this is real.
She dropped out of the film, and a lot of people chalked it up to the fact that she didn't like what she saw when she went to Africa, and she didn't feel like the feminist
You want to hear a truth, Nuke? This will break your minds. Do you know which country in the world black people are the most successful? Well, it's America. And it's not even close, actually. There is no close second.
Telling of the story was accurate. And actually, to be fair to this woman, if that is why she dropped out, I think that's completely fair enough. That's perfectly fine and respectful. But it's also really funny if she dropped out because she was angry that that it wasn't representing African communities correctly. You want them to represent slavery better? I don't understand. This will just never not be funny to me. Digging into this woman further, it becomes...
I cannot believe that's real. That she went to some fucking crazy, she thought it was feminists, and it was slavers, brutal, cannibal slavers. And they saw paintings of panthers and swords, and she was like, oh my god, they must have gotten this from Wakanda. And it's like, oh. And then she goes out there and then she canvasses and does her little fucking gay little retarded we need to be better to people. We need more representation. I don't care about your values. You're retarded.
Very clear, very quickly, that all she cares about is race. And she is one of these big proponents of forced representation.
That's why it's not hypocrisy. She's just a racist. It's that easy. It's that simple.
Actual DEI initiatives and insert.
I can't believe she's such a hypocrite that she likes when black people win and she doesn't like when white people win. No, that's not hypocrisy. That's just racism. Like, what are we doing?
Herself into places where she probably doesn't belong. Ironically, after winning an Oscar for her role in 12 Years a Slave, she got mad being asked to play other slave roles because they were carrying on a stereotype, and I quote, expected of people from her continent.
But they were the slaves. What are we doing? Man, I'm really mad that when they remade the Prince of Egypt, they made the Jews the slaves of the Egyptians. That was pretty anti-Semitic. What are we doing, man? This is crazy.
What does this mean? That Africans sold other Africans?
So these guys are reminding us constantly, they're reminding us constantly about slavery, but they don't want to be depicted as slaves in fiction. Like what are we even doing?
Into slavery? They still do that. This isn't a stereotype. You literally went to Africa and learned about Africans selling other Africans into slavery.
Literally.
It's times like this.
Today.
I wish I drank alcohol. Anyway, in one roundtable discussion from 2019, Lupita commented that she supports the forced representation in Hollywood and herself is pushing for equitable diversity to become the norm, not a fad or a trend.
I am a black woman. And so
good she told us, because she could be identifying as a white woman for all we know.
So, this industry, this Me Too time, this Time's Up time is about allowing...
Look, it's a round table of people who are complete fucking retards that read words written by smarter people. Not... The average IQ around this table's gotta be somewhere around 80. I'm being real here. These are people whose opinions mean nothing.
For more equitable representation. And I am benefiting from the efforts of a lot of other women who have come before me, other black women who have come before me, who have had it a lot rougher than I have. For me, I think this is a time where there is a concerted effort to consider diversity and inclusion. What I really want is for it to not be a fad, not be a trend, where right now it's really dope and cool and on trend to work with women and underrepresented groups. But I think the
Bro, stop.
moment of maturity in the industry is when it is just the norm.
Ironically, again, in another interview she did many years ago, she said that she thinks that lighter skin tones are rewarded. I find this sort of hilarious, albeit depressing, because the only reason that Lupita got her role in The Odyssey is because she's black. In a very direct way, she is the result of the DEI initiatives that she has been advocating for, which means two things. Number one, she doesn't see an issue with anything that's happening here, and number two, she got exactly what she wanted. In yet another interview from 2017, I guess just prior to Black Panther being released, Lupita said that her mandate on this earth is to expand everyone's understanding of African identity. She added, I want...
But she makes up African identity. She thinks that the fucking savage slaver tribe is based off Wakanda, okay? Hello? She makes it up. She doesn't actually want people to believe in understand African identity. She wants to invent African identity and wants people to believe in the fiction that she created. That's what she wants. None of these people believe in reality. None of these people want anything actual real. It's just a giant psyop.
To play with.
She feels bad about herself for whatever reason, so now she feels the need to push this down your throats.
Men of all walks of life and all places, not just African roles. But by default, whatever woman I play will be black, and in doing so, it will be expanding our understanding of what that experience is, because it's not a singular experience.
What are we even talking about? Any role I play will be black, and therefore the culture will be known better. The culture will be known because every role I play will always be woman that is black. Bro, so if we get a white person to wear blackface, does that expand black culture too? Is that like a thing?
It turns out, Lupita, that not every role you're going to be playing is that of a black woman. You're now playing a Greek woman from Greek mythology. It does make me wonder if this changes things for Lupita, if she's going to make an attempt to understand the European...
Because she's actually incredibly consistent. She is super hyper consistent throughout. See, I am a very simple person. I like patterns. Patterns are fun and cool. And when you recognize patterns, it makes society just so much funner and cooler. And once you start recognizing the fact that the pattern here is she just hates white people. Once you recognize that pattern, you'd be like, wow, maybe she isn't a hypocrite at all. Maybe it's not hypocrisy that she's like, I really like when black people win and I really don't like when white people win. Maybe that's not hypocrisy. Maybe she's just racist.
Way of life.
That's like saying, I like that America has nuclear weapons, but I don't want Iran to get nuclear weapons. It's not hypocrisy. I just like when the good guys win, and I don't like when the bad guys win.
to understand what it's like to be a white person and our collective experience. I need to calm down. I'm getting really mad.
She thinks, unironically, she has psyoped herself into believing that Africa was nirvana and it was beautiful and it was Wakanda from Black Panther. All right, actual utopia. And then the whites came and ruined it all and took the slaves. I bet you that's what she believes history is. But for some reason, we have to deal with that. For some reason, now we have to deal with that.
Mentioned this in other videos, but sometimes when things happen on the internet that concerns a specific celebrity or e-person or whoever, I look into that person to cover the story or to give more details about that individual, and I just come to find out that they're not that bad, or actually they're a completely fine, normal person, and they just happen to find themselves in a bit of hot water over something dumb that they did or said. Lupita, last name I can't pronounce, from everything I have seen and read and heard, absolutely sucks. I know I shouldn't really be surprised because in the opposite direction, it's actually more shocking when Hollywood turns out a person who is not a complete D-bag. That's a real departure from the norm. But I think in this case, it is completely infuriating to observe this woman be such an open hypocrite and also have these insane double standards. Like I mentioned at the start of this video, upon reflection, I realized that someone like Papa Asiadu probably accepted his wholly inappropriate role as Severus Snape, not because he's got some weird desire to participate in forced representation, but because he thinks he had the chance of a lifetime. And honestly, he seems like a good guy, even if I probably would wildly disagree with some of his political stances. Lupita.
I'll take. I love that Snape is black. It's gonna be awesome. I'm just saying it's gonna be awesome. You realize the first like 2 Harry Potter books, you had Harry Potter sitting there in potions class and Snape would just be like, Mr. Potter. And then Harry would like just look at him and be like, I'm looking at him and I know he's up to something. I didn't actually see him do anything wrong, but I know he's up to something bad. He must be a bad guy. He's probably working for Voldemort. He seems like a bad dude. I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger. There's something about him. It's just gonna be the one black character. It's gonna be so good. You guys are just haters. It's gonna be awesome. All right, listen, I like comedy, okay? Like, dude, you realize that Harry Potter's dad bullies him in high school. He, like, lynches him. He literally hangs him on a tree. It's gonna be sick, dude. It's gonna be sick. All right, I'm being a little hyperbolic, but I'm gonna enjoy it.
On the other hand, is always needing to make a point. Everything she does.
Harry Potter's gonna be looking at Snape, and Ron is gonna say, hey, Harry, what's bothering you about Harry? And Harry's gonna say, Ron, something niggles me about him. It's gonna be awesome. You guys are just haters.
Is to advance Africans and African representation, despite the fact, by the way, guys, that she spent the majority of her life in the United States, but that's total aside. Her objectives are to advance DEI, which she has admitted she thinks is a good thing. What's wild as well is that in discussing her time in Kenya, because she did spend time in Kenya as a child because her family is Kenyan, she said that when she would switch on the television, she never saw anyone on the TV who was as dark as her, and that is a problem. So you're not even happy with...
No shot. She's not only just attacking white people, she's attacking lighter toned black people too. Bro, that's awesome.
The black representation you see in a black
That's
country.
awesome.
Fantastic.
Oh my God.
I think that people like Lupita are the main problem with modern television and entertainment. It's never enough for her, and she's basically admitted that. It isn't enough to see black people on television because they're not dark enough for her liking, unless she's seeing herself reflected back 100% in whoever's—
My guy, this is so good. She's just completely insufferable. Man, I couldn't have seen this coming.
On the screen, she's not happy. Her life goal, in her own words, is to advance the initiatives of the African continent, and it's very important to her to have the mythology—
But she also has to make up what the actual African continent is all about.
—of different countries in Africa represented, to have the cultures and traditions represented, but none of that extends to Europe and European culture and European history and European mythology, because that actually falls outside of—
she hates white people.
Her purview of caring. So it's fine to trash European cultures and mythologies because she doesn't care about it and she doesn't advocate for it.
Yeah, it's not hypocrisy. She just hates white people. Yeah.
But you better believe that she's gonna fight tooth and nail for made-up African cultures to be properly represented. I hate it here. In my opinion, from everything I can see, this woman is everything wrong with modern Hollywood. And
yeah, no arguments here. But I personally love that the pushback is so ubiquitous. Everyone's on top of it. The culture is ours. It is ours, and we're not giving it back. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. This was a movie-length deep dive into all the things, from Iran to E.G. and Carroll getting investigated to, alleged ties from, with Hassan Piker to the Cuban government, to the Chinese government, Candace Owens to the Russian government. We got ICE agents wiping out retards. It's just honestly fantastic stuff, all things considered. Every day, another deep dive into all the things. Definitely subscribe. Big kisses to the people. Tell your mom that you love her. Like, just call her up out of the blue and be like, you know what, Mom? I love you. And she'll say, what's this all about? And you'll be like, I don't know. God said, honor your father and mother. And you'll leave her all confused. It'll be awesome. And if your mom is dead, well, that sucks. That sucks. Definitely subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Every day, another deep dive. I appreciate you all immensely. Your support is truly, truly incredible. That's what I have to say for today. So I'll see you in the next one. Bye.